It's really, really cold. And it's late. So I'm gonna be quiet. But I just had a real nice date with a real pretty lady, and I'm gonna turn on a heater 'cause it's really fucking cold. It's really cold inside my room. It's really cold inside my room. It's really cold, it's really cold, it's really cold inside my room. You know what? I see the battery's getting low. And so what I'm gonna do is change the batteries. Oh yeah, baby. I'm gonna change your battery. Oh yeah, baby. I'm gonna change your battery. I just had a really good date, obviously. I'm in a good mood. Okay, so changing battery. I feel like I really connected with someone tonight, and that is so cool. That is like so rare. It's so rare, man. Holy shit. I'm just in like the best fucking mood, dude. She's fucking gorgeous as hell. So she's in my phone as I shouldn't say her. I'll edit that, whatever. She's in my phone as blank and then I have the city she lives in. Hottie. Cause she's a hottie, and she came into my work once, and I'm not gonna read any of these texts, but I don't remember how the number exchange happened. So let me go back into the history books. Oh. Hey, Kelly. Oh shit, I said her name again. Fuck, I gotta edit that out. This is John. The couch is $195. That was my first text. And she came into my work today, and we just started talking, and then we went and bought some weed at the marijuana dispensary, and then we went out she bought me dinner and drinks. And we talked about The Sopranos. She has every season, and she's seen them all, and like we really we didn't talk about The Sopranos a lot, but it happened at the end, and it's just weird. Basically, it was weird. Basically, it was fucking great. It was just a really great night, and we really connected. Like, I really felt it, and like I knew we connected as like, I didn't know if she felt romantic until I was like, I'm gonna kiss you and you can stop me. I said something like that, and then I kissed her, and she like did one of those things, which I just did naturally right now thinking about it, and like, I mean, she's just so pretty, and she's fucking so smart. Like, she's actually, I mean, I was like, what I mean is she fucking studies climate change and shit like that. Like, that's her job. And she does like, she's a scientist. And I'm in his dad's basement. That's so stupid I think of myself that way. I'm doing shit. She made me feel so confident. I'm fucking doing shit. I'm making shorts and releasing albums. I'm fucking going there, man. And so yeah, she really did make me feel. I feel so fucking confident. I mean, I felt confident before. I mean, that's probably why this all happened. But I feel way more confident right now. I feel great too, because I just feel way more confident right now. But we were like really connected. I'll stop saying that word, but that's like what we want. Like Tom Segura has a joke about that. He's like, I've been all around the world, you know, I've been fucking playing. I'm not doing his joke right, and I'm not only doing the setup to it too. He just says, like, basically says, I've been all around the world, and the truth is that people want to connect more than anything. I mean, he probably just sees that, man. We love his I love his comedy. I mean, I've been that guy to him. But like, he probably just see everyone wants to connect to him because he's if you love his comedy or whatever, he's just fucking awesome too. So he saw that, and that's true, man. We just want to connect. Like, it was that joke, that setup to that joke is really like, it's really fucking altered my life. It's like top 5 most important jokes. I have important jokes. Top 5. I really do. What the fuck am I talking about? People want to connect, and we connected. And I said I wasn't going to say that, and then I said it like 15 times. Connected. We bought weed. She's like so pretty, so I'm like, I'm just trying to play it cool, dude. You know? Just trying to like be myself. I mean, that's like what you want to do. I mean, for me, I don't know. It's just like make sure, like, sometimes I'd notice I'd like be slouching when we were talking. It's like, fucking be a pole, man. Men are the poles, women are the wind, and the flag is the relationship. I think I've said that on this podcast before. That's a Ken Wilber analogy that, like, I heard 10 years ago, but it's really only started to make sense in the last few years, man. I feel like there's a bunch of stuff like that, dude. I thought of one the other day that was like, oh man, that's like a 10-year. Oh, the South Park, man, chicks dig confidence, man. It's like, it's one thing to hear that. You know, it says on this, the clitoris says that in the South Park movie, but it's another thing to be that, man. And another great quote, man, from fucking, what's this dude's name, man? He's the boxer that's like, let's go, champ. He's talking about his friend. He's like, to be the man, you gotta be the man. His friend always says that, like, when he goes on runs. And it's true, man. It's like Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail, man. Like, you know, we have to find, like, we find energy through the community, but we also have to, like, find energy in ourselves and, like, bring something to the community you know, this is a fucking whole nother thing. What am I fucking, I'm going off. I'm on one right now, dude. I'm feeling so good, dude. I also haven't eaten, really. No, that's not true. We ate. Okay. I went to so many different places there, and I'm really fucking stoned. It was the first time I got stoned, just like in the last like 30 minutes or hour or whatever, hour and a half. Because we bought weed. I bought it with a beauty. Bloom, free advertisement. Bloom in Reno. Check it out. Their weed is overpriced. But it's very good. It's great weed. Just like, come on, man. It's a $10 gram for dank shit, and then 7.5 for shitty shit. Come on. Y'all are still gonna make tons of money. You'll get everybody, dude. No one will cut the dealers out, dude. No more dealers. I love dealers. Come on. That's like fun, man. Like going to the store too, whatever. Something we talked about, and something I've been thinking a lot about, and it goes to deal with like connecting, and it's why I really lost the rails, because I thought of it, and I was like, oh, I gotta come back to it, but I'm just gonna go there now, man. I've been thinking about fucking cavemen, dude. Like, if you're cavemen, like, I'm in a fucking basement, I'm in a cave, right? But, and our ancestors were cave people. But they weren't alone. There would be like a bunch of people in the cave, but it's just me. But I was just thinking about how isolated and lonely that can be, you know, and how back in the day, man, we were always together. We were just like always hanging out, dude. And we were just like fucking killing shit. And I'm really glad to find out that the Neanderthals did not kill all our ancestors, that they probably just died out off for different reasons. That made me give some hope for humanity. Like, oh, we're not just gonna kill everything. But whatever. Let's see. But cave people, dude, and like, if someone had psychosis, or if you say something crazy, like someone had psychosis, everyone would know it. There'd be no crazy people, or they'd become shamans. I mean, they really would. They'd have a purpose, but they'd have a purpose in the community. They wouldn't just be a fucking infinity loop in their fucking craziness, like when they're by themselves and no one's there and they're not part of society to correct their behavior, dude. Because if you say something crazy, this is like a Jordan Peterson idea. Like, this is something he said. You know, if you say something crazy, people will like look at you weird, or if you act a certain way, you're gonna get feedback off your things. You know, which is like too, like if you can get feedback from your community is what I'm saying. And same thing too, like if you're a guy that, and I've been this guy for sure, who's like always having a really hard time getting dates, like, what the fuck am I talking about? Oh, feedback, dude. Like, listen to that feedback. Like, there's a reason. Like, women will give you feedback. And they won't give you, like, direct feedback. But their actions or inactions will give you feedback. Like, oh, I'm acting a certain way. I get nothing. And that's something I really had to learn. Like, okay, although what you've been trying to do doesn't work, so do different stuff. And it's the only time it's ever worked is if I've been around someone and we've connected. And it's the only time it's ever meant anything either. Like, when I've just, like, I don't know. This was a very, like, touching someone's hand, holding someone's hand is more intimate than having sex with someone you don't really care about, or you don't have feelings for. You don't have feelings for, For me, at least. And think about that too. Like, if you had sex, like, even if everyone was fucking everyone, like, fucking, what's that book called? I haven't read it, but I want to read it. Sex at Dawn. Fucking, you'd still be around those people. It'd still be, I don't think, for me at least, I can't just, like, I only want to have sex with people I care about. And that's not like a rocker thing to say, but I'm also doing a podcast where I fart and cry and stuff, so I don't really think I'm really trying to go the old route anyway. So I don't like it. There's a release, but the sacrifice I want to make is that, like, the next time I have sex, it's with someone I really care about, and, like, it's a really intimate, and it's someone I really care about, and it's intimate on both sides, Like, it's not just one person liking the other person. It's like, yeah, you guys have fucking, I'm not saying I won't explore, or we won't explore around before, but I'm saying by the time you get to that point, it's well found, like, you two like each other. And maybe it's me being 31, but I don't like having sex with people I don't care about. And that sounds so old-fashioned or whatever. It's hard. It's a really complex thing because, like, human touch is, like, this real thing you need, man. Going back to that isolation, dude. And why I think it's cool that, like, guys hug more now and, like, tell each other they love each other. Like, that wasn't really something that, like, 20 years ago, people in the 80s, maybe they were, I don't fucking know. It seems like it's like, there's a movie called I Love You Man. Like, it's like a thing. Like, we express love. And we should. It's a good thing to express love. But, like, we're supposed to touch each other and be, you know, like men playing around, like, fighting, doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like, all that kind of stuff, like, and then, like, intimate touch with women, or, you know, vice versa. Obviously, I'm a man, so obviously I'm just fucking talking about my perspective. But, you know what I'm fucking talking about. Apply yourself to the situation, and it all works. Like, you need intimate touch too, and you need like friendly touch, and you just need that stuff, man. And now, and I feel like I'm going forward now that cave paint's done. I really want to connect, like Tom Segura says. Like, people want to connect. I'm people. I'm a person. I want to connect too. Like, I'm fucking right there with you, motherfuckers. And like, that's why I listen to podcasts. That's why I listen to music. I mean, I don't know. That's not the only reason why. But part of that's why I listen to podcasts. But like, music is different. I don't really can't put into words what music's about, man. So I'm going forward, like, you know, that means making less albums by myself, really. It means, like, making my albums with my band, and, like, I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about that, dude. It's so fucking nice, dude. I mean, I'm so glad I made Cave Paint, stuck with it, of course. And, like, my 10-year goal is making 5 albums, so, like, one every other year, basically. But there's going to be, like, a few years where I make a bunch, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But, like, you know, I want to make 5 albums in the next 10 years. So I'd say like an album a year. And I want to make 3 movies. I'm going to make 3 movies, and I'm going to release 5 albums in the next 10 years. And I already know what the first 3 albums are called, and I pretty much have the names for the second ones, except for if I come up with a better one. Except if I come up with a better one. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling so fucking excellent. I mean, it's so funny. I was thinking about that. Like, you could go like 1 minute being like the most like, bitter, angry dude to like the happiest dude from the Love of a Woman band. Like, the touch of a woman. And like, that's like what, you know, I don't know if it's a sacrifice, but like what guys have to do is accept it. Like, and meet it and be there, and to hone it in on this is for me, obviously, as like polyamory people, whatever, people should do whatever they want, but for me, that means like all my energy could go into one person. Like, not all my energy, but all my sexual energy, like, could go into, like, you know, obviously I gotta like masturbate when they're not around. Everyone wants to fuck when you want to fuck, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it means that other girls are in the world and you can't admire them, but there's one person you love. Like, there's your Lois Lane, man. You gotta be a Superman, and I've been thinking about that a lot, and I'm not Superman. I do not think that for a second. But I've been thinking about the metaphor of that, of Superman, and how, like, if you want to date fucking Lois Lane, like, you have to be Superman. You can't get mad if a girl doesn't want to date you, man. I mean, and I've had that happen. You can be hurt, but you can't be mad. It's like a girl being mad that a fucking fine girl gets, like, tons of attention. Like, you can't be mad at that. You can be, like, upset or sad or... But, like, that's just fucking... that's just the way it is, dude. And... I mean, women are the most complex thing in the universe. And, like, men will never understand that. It's never gonna happen. It's, like... it's impossible. Like... But I think we can connect. I think we have more in common than not. I mean, men are the second most... wondrous thing in the universe, you know. So I really do think that. not to put people in ones and twos. I guess people are crazy, dude. Think about that. Superman, dude. If someone came up with Superman and we go see those movies and we get mad if we think like that they didn't represent the Superman we know. You know, like, also this is a aside, how boring the fucking narrative of not liking Superman is. Fucking so boring. Shut up. There's literally that I know of hundreds of great issues of Superman. Hundreds. You don't even fucking read comics. You tell me Superman doesn't make for good stories. Blow me. Superman's fucking awesome, dude. Superman is the best fucking symbol ever created to represent the potential of humanity. And it's a fucking alien that has come to Earth and has like seen the good and has seen the virtue that's inside of humanity and dedicated his life to it and his power to it. And I think that's really cool. And I think it's very cheesy, like what I'm saying, but I also think it's true. I'm fucking tripping out looking at Jim Lee's Superman right now. Dude, that is beautiful. That's not even about mushrooms or anything. That is fucking just absolutely gorgeous. And whoever did the coloring, oh fuck, just perfect. And for me, like, I've been thinking about recently just being a better person and being a better man. Like, obviously, like Jordan Peterson, Robert Pattinson really made me think of that. No, but Jordan Peterson has really been getting me back into religion and back into, I think of it in metaphors, but the same with comics, but you just saw how much I love Superman, so I feel like, religions are kind of the comic books of the old ages, and they're stories that really teach us things, and they show us aspects of ourselves. For sure, hold on, I gotta heat my hands up. But, so listening to Jordan Peterson recently has really got me just fucking thinking and amped up, because he really puts forefront of morality in a world that is morally ambiguous, in a world where a lot of like liberal people, and understandably so, don't want to use words like evil and good because of George Bush and being like, oh well, he said Iran's evil and whatever, and it's obviously so stupid. How could a country be evil? Everyone in a fucking country, well, I guess Germany and I guess I'll just take that back. At least not everybody. You know what I'm saying. So I get why people are hesitant, and I also used to hate that term when people were talking about religion, like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But I guess it's another one of those things that like that makes sense to me now, because they're just stories to teach us lessons. And Jordan Peterson really brings it to the forefront, at least for me, where he makes it so religion's not this top-down tyrannical thing where people figured it out. Maybe obviously there was like, I can't think of what it's called, but that convention where they kind of picked which books got in the Bible. But before that, even, just basically that religion is basically, they're just stories that survive, man. And cream rises to the top kind of ideal. And things like Superman or Batman, they connect with us because it's just something that hit the right chord, dude. And so religion's obviously that, and religion's obviously thriving still today. Maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I know their religious numbers are going down, and I think people should take it as a metaphor. I think people should think of them like comic books. But fucking just because it's a fucking comic book doesn't mean that you can't. It doesn't mean it's not real, and it doesn't mean it's not a real lesson you need to bring into your life. like obviously the cheesy, not cheesy, but the, you know, obviously the very stated, much stated, with great power comes great responsibility, but that's truth. And what I mean is, sorry, just take a hit. Took like a million hits. I can't remember what I was just talking about. But, you know, having just truth, justice. Oh, I was talking comics, of course. Truth, justice, in the American way, man. Like, I know that's cheesy and whatever. And then I think they took away the American way thing because of how, you know, just nationalistic that is. But I just kind of referenced it. You know, like, Joseph Campbell brings up a point, like, you're always gonna, everything you do, every action you make is gonna have some negative consequence in some way. Everything you do, like, there's no way of avoiding it. I mean, right now I can just think of so many things, like me wearing shoes that someone who doesn't really make much money at all. I'm wearing fucking top 10 Adidas, and some dude, I paid like $100, and some dude who like made 0.0001% of that made them. I don't really know exactly how that works, obviously. But I'm just saying everything you do, whatever. Maybe some of this shit that's in this camera, like, is mined in some horrific way in fucking Africa or fucking wherever. I don't know. But my point is like, you can lean towards the light and try to do good and try not to be ignorant, you know, try to like learn things, but also realize you're ultimately always ignorant. I'm talking to myself right now, guys. Obviously, I'm always gonna be cosmically, ultimately ignorant. There's like no way of avoiding that. But I can also like set up belief systems and ways of living, especially now as like someone who's 31, to like look at my patterns and say, what has made me happy? Girls that like inspire me. What has made me not happy? Just trying to chase beautiful women because I think it'll give me confidence. Cause like, I don't think somebody can like give me that. It's like something I have to give myself. And I'm figuring it out. The last thing I wanted to say, since it's still Sunday, 11:25, I'm talking about Jordan Peterson and him kind of getting me back into religion, which is always fun. But I mean, I'm always into like Buddhism and stuff like that. But Christianity, you know, he's got a very interesting take on Christianity, and one that goes basically down. I mean, he's like, it's very similar to Joseph Campbell in a way, but it's very different, obviously, because he's mostly. I mean, I don't know. Talk about. All right, my point is this. Here's what I wanted to say. Getting back, Jordan Peterson, getting me back into religion, and how cool that is. I'm so fucking ripped. But there's this part of the Matrix, you might remember, where Neo, Matrix Revolutions, is walking down and he's going to talk to like the leader of the machine world because Agent Smith has taken over. And dude, I don't totally know what what it's about. Okay, let's be real. Those movies are pretty. I think the Revolutions, if they just like cut like 10 minutes of action out of it, and like maybe like that, whatever the sunset is like, maybe like a little, whatever. Okay, okay. I don't know. I think it just was the action scenes were just sometimes too long, and then like, I don't know. The kid didn't work in the movies. I mean, that didn't work. I don't mean to be a dick. I don't want to talk about I love the Wachowskis a ton, so, but just like the kid didn't work. They were like, let's do it, maybe it'll work, and then it didn't work. But you know, what are you gonna do? But also, it's cool, whatever. He's like, I believe, and then he shoots the thing, and then that makes it so the thing, and then the thing. I don't remember totally. But he's walking at the machines, right? It's like all gold because he's blind, because he got fucking Agent Smith, and he's walking through. And it's all gold, and like I was listening to the commentary once, and like going back to Kim Wilbur, and Cornel Williams. I was like, dude, you wrote Race Matters. What are you thinking? Cornel West, come on. They had the commentary on that DVD, and I can't believe how long it took me to say this, but. He said the idea at the end of this movie, Matrix Revolutions, about him seeing all this gold amongst all the things he thought was evil, amongst all the people, the machines. He's at the machine world. He thought it was all evil. He spent 2 movies fighting them. And he walks up to the fucking head honcho, but as he's walking up, he's going through this tunnel. There's all this gold. As he's walking up, there's all this gold. He's going through this tunnel. And on the commentary, Ken Wilber or Cornel West, I can't remember, were like, hell is God's love denied. And like he saw them as an enemy, and then through like a new eye, through like a new rebirth by him, he was able to like see the inner beauty and the inner light. Hell is God's love denied. Thinking about that phrase, like, I feel like I'm at fucking church right now, dude. This is crazy, but whatever. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep rolling. Hell is God's love denied. Hell, pain, man, is God's love denied. It blows my mind, and I don't think I'm doing a very good job of explaining it. But maybe I can metaphor it to goes to like women, like men that can't get women are in hell in a way, because it's so painful. And maybe they're delusional about like their looks, or delusional about their life. Obviously, there are so many reasons that could be. Or they're awkward, or they have an insecurity, or they have a security problem. Insecurity problem? I don't know. That it's still painful. Going back to like touch, not having like basically like women don't want to fuck you. It's like, that's the reason guys are here. Going back to like the caveman thing, like some dude, this cave, like everyone's getting fucked, but Gorgok, dude. Gorg's just like sitting there, like fuck. There's all these fucking cave girls, but none of them want to fuck Gorgok, man. Gorgok's mad, dude. Gorgok mad, and I just feel that phrase is just brilliant, man. And I've been trying to think of that when I've been in pain. Am I denying God's love? And fuck yeah, man. When I'm feeling ungrateful, or I'm not feeling grateful, which is like almost the same thing. It's like knowing how to read and not reading. It's like or not knowing how to read and not reading. Like we're still not reading books. Either way, that's something one of my professors said to me. Didn't graduate, but because I kept making music. It took too much time. But I like that idea that I just said that I can't remember. What was I fucking talking about, dude? I just always want to make a point that I didn't graduate. So, he's like, no, I I'm going to graduate from college one day, but not until I've made a lot of money as a musician and like set my life up in that way. It'll be something I do as like a bonus in my life that I want to do, not something as like a backup, because there is no backup. Music, movies, comedy, fucking, this is the shit, dude. Obviously I'm not a comedian or whatever, but just like, this is the shit. And so when I think about not being able to read, not reading, not being grateful, or fuck, dude, I had a good point and then I wrecked it. What's the difference between being ungrateful or not being grateful? There's nothing. You're not being grateful. So the third option is to be grateful. And I feel grateful. I feel really grateful to be alive. I feel really grateful to have my health. Like this I am at church now. To have to have a family, to be a part of a really cool community in Reno. Like I'm seeing that more and more. Like I feel like a golfer, like poking his head out after I made these 9 albums, but like what's going on in the real world? They're like, dude, come here. Like, come on, let's fucking hang out. And I'm like, all right, let's do. It's been really nice, man. People have always been cool, man. Sometimes you don't realize that. Sometimes it's hard to realize what's going on, man. I don't know. I didn't know this girl was attracted to me till we kissed. That was like the moment I knew. As like kissed her, I think she's attracted to me. She's kissing me back. Wow. Dude, she knocked me out. I mean, she was cool, man. And she was just cool, man. She knew what was up. She was confident. She was smart. And I kept up with her. And I felt cool about that. I felt good about that. I felt cool. But I did feel cool. I'm cool. That's an asshole thing to say, but I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna edit that out. But I felt cool, and I felt really good. I felt really cool. And I felt cool. I'm having fucking OCD shit. Now I have to edit this out. And now I don't feel good. And it was just fun, man. Just talking to her, and I had a great time. I had a really great time. And I think she did too. And I'm going to check my phone to see if she texts me. And dude, the love of a woman is like, will fucking melt the ice on your heart. That's the goddamn truth, dude. Alright. My next guest is Casey Martinson. He is a filmmaker, friend, fellow confidant, and we're gonna talk about probably comics and stuff. Thanks for watching so far.
But I'm gonna be looking at you while we do this.
Yeah, no, it's fine because it's just, I mean, it's for audio.
Sure.
So I'm gonna come sit here. What's up? I'm just hanging out with my friend Casey Martinson.
Oh shit.
And now I was just like, hey man, do you mind if we do a podcast? And he's like, I think he was reluctant, but I'm forcing him to do it. So we're doing it here. We're just talking nerd shit right now. And it's what I've mostly been doing in my life since making and finishing my album. And even like a little bit before that, like I am heavy into nerd shit. So
cool.
We're talking about Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Well, how did we get to because Joss
Saying
Whedon...
it's better than...
Well, because Joss Whedon is going to be, you said...
Justice League.
directing the new Justice League
Yeah,
movie.
I think it's like directed by Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon. Is what it's going to be.
Because I thought he did. I mean, you know, I never saw Buffy, but I loved Firefly. Was great.
Yeah.
And then I loved his version of As You Like It that he shot with his wife at his house. It was really good. But yeah, so
Shakespeare, right?
Yeah, Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Black and white, really good. But so Age of Ultron, like, you remember, right? Like, they lit him up for that.
Yeah.
They really fucking tore him to pieces.
It was really bad.
It was really bad. They ate him alive. And I thought it was a lot better, not only than the first Avengers, because, like, the first Avengers, the thrill is the team up, right? So now that we've had the team up, how do you do that again? How do you do a second time? And like, also, like, I think Age of Ultron is a lot more rewatchable than the first Avengers, right? Because with the first Avengers is like, I mean, they team up and then that's the thrill. And once you've seen the thrill, it's not so much anymore, right?
Yeah.
But with Age of Ultron, like, he tried doing, like, lots of interesting directions. Like, he had this weird, like, Black Widow. Does she, you know, what's this conflict between being a spy and settling down, right? You know, you have these people who are, you know, Scarlet Witch and the other guy, the speedster or whatever, who are...
Vision?
Yeah, not the Vision. Scarlet Witch and her brother.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Who are... you know, it's like they're it's almost like the thing Batman does, where, like, he creates his own villains, right? They're villains in a way, like, created by the Avengers, you know. And then Ultron, like, the voice work was great, you know what I mean? Like, I remember the first trailer where he's doing the Pinocchio bit.
Yeah.
And, like, that would be corny and overdone. Like, it's like in the thing they do in trailers now, where it's like they'll have, like, a kid singing a song. It's almost like that, right? Or the blomp blomp bloms after Inception came out. But I thought the performance was so good that it got rid of the corniness. You know what I mean?
With James Spader, yeah, so
yeah,
good.
it was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So I really liked what he tried to do with Ultron. So I'm excited to see him in the DC property.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
And that's so much more... Like, DC is so streamlined. I mean, it's weird that, like, Steppenwolf, I think, is the main bad guy, which I don't really know much about that bad guy.
For the Justice League movie?
Yeah.
Steppenwolf is going to be the main bad guy?
Yeah, I don't know why I don't know if there was, like, some legal reason they couldn't get Darkseid. Because Darkseid's, like, is the main bad guy from DC, you know?
Well, I thought it looked like...
new god.
In the trailer, they're fighting those... It looks like they're fighting warriors from Apocalypse.
Yeah, I think Steppenwolf probably has some... I don't really know much about that Steppenwolf.
Right.
But I'm sure they're doing something. For some reason, they don't have... I mean, obviously, they should have done Darkseid, but...
Right.
DC's just so streamlined. There's just, like, here's our guys. You know, like...
What do you mean?
Just, like, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman. Here's your shit. Like, so it'll be cool to see him. Whereas, like, Age of Ultron is, like... There's so many. There's like 9 different characters. You know what I mean?
Right.
In this movie, it's just like,
well, I mean,
here's
think
the
about
5.
The first Avengers was that,
guys.
Right?
Yeah.
The first Avengers was Captain America, you know, Thor, Hulk, you know, all your favorites. They're here, right? Like it's in a way, it's like him going back and redoing the first Avengers movie, but without Marvel's color palette.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like growing up, like I was never into Marvel shit other than the XMen TV show.
Yeah.
DC, like if you think about it, DC had the market on animated properties fucking cornered, right? Because it had Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Static Shock, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Teen Titans, Young Justice.
Yeah.
All this good stuff. And for, like, Marvel, I don't really remember watching anything they did other than Spider-Man and X-Men.
Those are the only 2 that hit, and they're still, if you go back, they're better to just keep the memories on.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, people who love fucking, like, the old X-Men comics, or, like, the old X-Men TV show, the 90s TV show, the cartoon, or in Spider-Man comics, or the Spider-Man 90s TV show, they should just read comics.
Right.
Because, like, those are going to be how you're... Even though, like, reading comics is more work, it's, like, those are gonna be the only way to fulfill your
that
like
feeling.
Yeah,
right.
Because like Chris Claremont's run on XMen, and like that's like the New Mutants movies coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically like so next year's Dark Phoenix for the XMen saga, which is I just think that I don't know her name, but she's just such a babe who plays Jean Grey. Even though I really didn't like X-Men Apocalypse, I think that's a really bad movie. I just turned it off.
Sure.
It was so bad. Which is so crazy because it's like some of the greatest fucking talents.
Right.
Like some really like Michael Fassbender,
Yeah,
whoever it is,
Fassbender's a fucking thug.
It's like just so weird they
man.
didn't. It's like, why didn't you just get a good script and get Bryan Singer?
Well,
Bryan Singer was asleep at the wheel, which was so weird.
He's a great actor and he's great for that role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's just weird that like fucking.
Did Bryan Singer direct the like First Class
Days of Future
Past?
Matthew Vaughn did First Class, but he did do
That was a fun one.
Days of Future Past, and Matthew Vaughn's probably going to do Superman 2, hopefully.
Okay.
But like, fuck, Chris Claremont's run. So next year, it's like New Mutants is his movie too. Like, so he made New Mutants in the 80s. So basically, the next two movies that are coming out for the X-Men, aside from Deadpool, are like all based on Chris Claremont. Like, Chris Claremont is the fucking X-Men. Like, if people like, they should just go back. And same thing with like Spider-Man. There's just like, you should just go read Stan Lee's Spider-Man. And then like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and then Stan Lee and Steve Ditko.
There is one Spider-Man animated work that I think still holds up, and it's Spectacular Spider-Man.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's really good.
That's so good.
It was really good, and it really holds up still, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. And Disney fucked up hard canceling that.
That's right.
That's why they canceled it. And
Yeah,
both their shows have been not as good.
No, I haven't seen any of the new stuff, but from the old stuff, that was one that I think still holds up, is Spectacular. And then I don't want to watch it because I'm sure it's garbage, but as a kid, like 8 or 9, I loved X-Men Evolution, which was X-Men in high school.
It's so pretty good.
So funny, dude.
It's good.
It's really good.
It's a good idea. I mean, that's kind of more like New Mutants, the comic, because it's like, yeah, and I like that.
Well, it's great. It was like X-Men meets Archie. It was great.
Yeah, totally. There's an Archie comic too.
Oh, sure.
Which is really good.
I want to read the new Archie reboot. I've heard good things. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Waid is doing that. And it's really good.
Yeah. Is he also doing the Betty and Veronica spinoff?
I have no idea. I know there's like a whole bunch.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of shit right now.
And like Jughead's asexual in the comics, but he's like
weird
in the show.
The show's really good.
You've seen all of Riverdale.
I've seen all of Riverdale.
Have you seen the new episode?
There's a season 2 out now?
Season 2, episode 1's out.
No, I just watched all of season 1 on Netflix.
I want to wait because it's such a good binge show.
Yeah, I want to get it all in one sit.
That's the fucking hottest show.
Dude,
like,
it looks so good.
Hot as fuck.
It's
everything
great.
about it, like all the fucking shots are hot.
The shots are hot.
The people in it are hot.
Oh fuck!
The redhead.
If I could look at Betty and Veronica for even two minutes, boy howdy.
What's fucking the redhead's name?
I forget, but I know who you're talking about.
She's
like
my
her brother dies at the beginning.
She's so fine.
She's fine.
They had like this one shot where she's doing a cheerleading pose and her leg is like all the way in the air, and my body like went into like when that happened.
You had a full body erection.
Like it's like I didn't get a boner, but like my whole body was like it was really crazy because
attention here.
I don't know. It was very stark. Came out of nowhere, but that's the hottest shit.
That's awesome.
I love that show.
Yeah, dude. And I love that. Like that's it's like, are you peanut butter or are you chocolate? Right? Are you this? Like there's all. It's like what your preference says something about you. I love one of the classic ones is, do you like Betty or do you like Veronica? You know what I mean? That's a classic personality thing. And for me, it's like they're both so hot. They're together. They're a complete. They're the universe. They're a being.
Yeah, I think, and I love that it really goes to when people get really mad about reboots, sequels. Like, there's definitely an aspect of it that's bad. But there's an aspect of it, too...
Well, the cash grabbing is bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it's not done well, it's bad. Riverdale's done well.
Riverdale's
done with care. If in season 4 they're not caring about it, that will suck. But it seems like they care about it.
Sure.
Still.
It's almost kind of Twin Peaksy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like the saner end of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to like try to out fucking.
You don't want to out.
You can't out Lynch.
No. Which I really want to see that movie they just made about him, The Art Life. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd like to.
He's so inspiring.
Should be
man, listening
interesting.
to him talk, and especially because you think
You're a big fan of Louis, right?
Yeah.
Remember his stint on Louis?
That was so good.
That was great.
So good. That was so funny. He's like making the part where he's like, make me laugh. And
Make
like,
me
does,
laugh,
like,
yeah.
That stupid dance. Like, that's so classic. So Louis classic. That's why he shouldn't come back to it. Like,
Oh, is it over?
it's over. Like, season
Okay.
5, he should just leave it. Like, he fucking, I never liked Jeremy Renner, except for in The Town.
He
Like,
was great in Louis.
he's incredible in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's some of my favorite acting ever. And like a lot of people hate those episodes because they're about like him as a kid.
Right. No, those
I
are
think
great.
they're really they're very confrontational.
Yeah.
I think they're very emotionally confrontational. I think that's, to me, when I first watched it and I didn't like them that much, and then I went and rewatched those episodes,
Mhm.
I was like, I think I wasn't ready for this.
Right.
Louis like right in your face.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to be some classic bits of television. Like years on, we'll go back and be like, the Jeremy Renner shit was great. The Robin Williams episode, I think, is going to go down in the books. You know what I mean? There's some great shit. His fucking David Lynch guest spot, that was great.
Yeah, that whole thing, that was great.
That whole trilogy.
Chris Rock being like, "Don't take it," and then he got the
Fucking
job.
Jerry Seinfeld coming on. Yeah.
I can't remember that one.
Susan Sarandon. Comics, dog. I don't know. Yeah, but so if we were going to do one, we should do the indie shit that hasn't been covered.
Yeah, we've got a
Yeah.
friend named Dan, and we're talking about how we're all like big fans of, there's all these comic book channels, but that we should do. They don't do them. They specifically say like we don't do the indie stuff because they don't get views.
Right.
And we're fine with not getting views.
Yeah, we suck. We're used to being broke.
Well, it's like whatever. So yeah, I mean, we should totally do that because that'll be
So
fun.
what
and
are
it'll get us
some
to-
indie? Because like I like the idea of like on the Kurt Vonnegut's podcast, right? They're doing just like an entire. It's just one person's work, right, front to back.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some people that you love that maybe wouldn't be covered by, like Comic Historian or something, right? Like what is that you would want to do a podcast on?
Well, you said you're reading Hunter S. Thompson, right?
I just finished. Yeah, I'm working on Hell's Angels.
So like, there's a book by Warren Ellis called Transmetropolitan,
Okay.
and it's like 100-issue thing. Like that'd be like the kind of, it's all about kind of a bald character who's crazy like Hunter S. Thompson, and it's like a futuristic. It's like Hunter S. Thompson, Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's more grittier than Blade Runner, but it's like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That very like.
So that would be something where we
cyberpunk.
learn a lot if we did that.
Yeah.
I've never read that. I've read the first couple volumes of that comic.
Sure.
Where if we did that,
We'd do the entire thing.
We'd learn a lot by the end of it
Mhm.
because it goes through so much and it's such like an intensive thing. But it's the same with like the Invisibles, like. So
So
reading
I wanna get into
Invisibles,
that,
you're gonna run into William Burroughs. You're gonna run into, like all these different authors and all these different things,
Right.
that are gonna come up. And so I think that'd be cool too.
Well, and it's like so.
If there is
Invisibles
like
is.
a poet, a poem quote,
Uh-huh.
or if there's a movie reference, like I think it'd be cool to be like, okay, we're gonna watch that movie. We're gonna like really like know about
Try
know
and
the
try and
thing.
understand everything in the work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's why it's gonna be one a little harder, but like it'd be cooler to do stuff like we were talking about, like Superman's covered. Like if you want to know about Superman,
You can find
he's
out about
covered.
Superman.
But there's gonna be stuff that's not.
Well, and so you were saying, so what was it was Grant Morrison's first piece. What was it?
Zenith, yeah.
So I think it'd be cool to go like, okay, here's Zenith, and there's the next thing he did, and then there's whatever's after that, and then there's Invisibles, and then there's like we get to Happy, which I've already read and is great, and I'm about to start Invisibles. But I think it'd be so interesting to do somebody's entire body of work from when they started to their present.
It's a good idea, dude.
And be like, just like see how their shit evolves, or if they keep coming back to certain, like, so talking about Vonnegut earlier, Vonnegut keeps talking about certain themes throughout his work, and like how he does it evolves, and maybe sometimes his idea about it evolves, but he has like certain characters and themes that recur, right? And it'd be interesting to like look at, say, Grant Morrison and be like, what does he keep coming back to?
Yeah.
Right? Or how does he evolve? Like by the time he gets to Happy is like miserable. It's a bleak, miserable show, but like with kind of a sort of barely upbeat ending, right? So it'd be like, is this new that like he has sort of a barely upbeat ending, or like does he start less bleak or more bleak and just change, or what?
Yeah, I feel. I mean, it's so dependent on what he's working on. He's gonna just like morph to whatever
the
style
job
he
is.
does. Because he also did like a thing called Klaus or Claus.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like Santa Claus.
That's
but
cool.
it's like a fucking comic book, and that's like upbeat, and it's
Okay.
like I don't know if it's like upbeat, but it's like the art style and everything is.
Sure, I'm sure it's upbeat
I haven't
compared
read
to Happy.
I haven't read Klaus because it was like 25. It was like $30, and I don't want to do it.
Shit.
But like, fucking. So that'd be awesome, and then because of have you ever heard of the Blank Check podcast?
No, what is that?
They do. It's really good, and they do that too. They take like a director, and then so they go through James Cameron, because like James Cameron, made so much money with Terminator that they kind of, or no, he made so much money with Aliens too.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him a blank check from then on. Like that's how he got to do Terminator 2 with such a high budget. That's how he got to do
Titanic.
True Lies. Yeah. Titanic. Totally. So they do it, and they go with just that. So we should totally do Grant Morrison. We'll
Grant
do just this
Morrison would
stuff,
be good.
and so we can do the first thing that he's really big on was Zenith. Then we'll do Animal Man, and then we'll do.
Did he do Doom Patrol?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Doom Patrol is going to be like very like interesting to talk
Yeah.
about, because that's a very psychedelic, and it's interesting too because he didn't do any drugs.
Well, isn't Invisibles
point.
all supposed to be like really psychedelic and really like it questions perception?
He definitely had done drugs. Yeah. But Doom Patrol's weird as fuck, and he hadn't done drugs, so it's like, well, like he had done mushrooms like one time, but like it doesn't. He's just already like so. Because he's a very interesting guy. So we'll probably just talk about him a lot, which would be cool. Which I love that I have a signed poster of him. He's such a good art author.
Yeah. Well, and it's like there's so many like people that we could talk about, and it's like everybody just like going to see the Marvel movies or whatever might not know about, and that's fun. You know what I mean?
And
like,
they're going to eventually, hopefully, know more about him because they're making like Happy into a TV show.
Right, which I was surprised to hear. I did not think that was ready for TV.
Yeah. They're thinking, but a lot of people, he's very polarizing. Like, you like him or you don't. Like the comic pop guy.
Right.
Sal, I don't know if you've seen Comic Pop ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a channel, like, he fucking, like, does not like Grant Morrison.
Really?
And Grant Morrison's my favorite comic book author. So it's like an interesting thing where what he doesn't like about him is what I do like about him. Where it's very weird, esoteric, magical,
not so mainstream.
Big.
Yeah.
It's very big, and it has very, it's like William Burroughs-esque stuff, in the sense that it's very out there. It's
psychedelic, yeah.
It's very psychedelic, yeah. And I really like that. And I mean, I've talked about it before on the podcast, but like, there's he's a magician, and like not like he does card tricks or whatever. Like he believes in magic and does like Aleister Crowley, like ceremonial magic.
That's pretty good.
He got me into that stuff,
cool.
Where it's like I'm pretty interested in that stuff too, and so that was like to me one of the main like things that kind of like
transferred over.
Well, yeah, like it was just a huge thing too, where I was like, I was like an atheist, and then like I was not
then you
an
go on that
atheist.
Grant Morrison kick.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm still on it. So
it's so funny how like some of these like really out there graphic novels guys get into some kind of occultism. Like now I'm thinking about Alan Moore.
Yeah,
and obviously everybody's done Watchmen and V for Vendetta because of the movies. But I really love a graphic novel he did, or a series he did called From Hell, which is about the Jack the Ripper murders. And it's a very, like, occult, you know, heavy and very, like, focused on the Masons and all this conspiratorial stuff. And then I've started reading Voice in the Fire, so that later I can read Jerusalem, which is also by Alan Moore. And then, like, you know, he did his Swamp Thing run.
Yeah.
And, you know, he, much like, oh God, we were just talking about him with Grant Morrison. Yeah. He's very into occultism.
Yeah.
Very into these almost these forms of spirituality that are more like, you know, trippy and psychedelic and out there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is, because there's very, like, you know, there is, like, Eastern things involved in it. You know, like, someone like Aleister Crowley knows everything about every religion. Like, that dude knows about, like, all that stuff.
Maybe.
So.
That would be...
I don't want to say...
That'd be an interesting one for the podcast. Because
that's an overstatement, but, like, he's done every practice almost. You know what I mean? Meditation style practice, get up, like, retreat stuff, like, you know, and eventually, like... I mean, I don't know a ton about Aleister Crowley, but, like, I know that, like...
He's kind of a dumbass.
I don't know what...
I heard a great joke about him the other day when I was listening to another podcast where they're talking about Alan Moore. And it's like Alan Moore went and explored all of Crowley's stuff. And the interesting thing about Alan Moore is that, unlike Crowley, Alan Moore has contributed something to the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's the joke. Like, if back in the day you're following Aleister Crowley, it's like following... or it'd be like one of those Russian wives that would sleep with Rasputin. You know what I mean? Like, you probably don't have something going on, you know?
I don't really know that. I don't know if that... I don't get that metaphor.
Oh.
Explain that to me again.
Aleister Crowley was a charlatan, right? He do you know, so you know how right now, right, they're like mega churches. And you could go on, like, television or something, or go to one of these mega churches, and there's this guy who's like, give me all your money because God says so. And he's the original version. Or he's like a version from back in the day, and he's like the best at it. But he's like the anti-version.
So he's also like L. Ron Hubbard in a way?
Yeah.
See, I've never read anything by Aleister Crowley that's ever made me... And I've only read selected stuff. Mm-hmm. I've never read anything that wasn't, like, self-empowering.
Oh, cool. Well, and that's
in the sense,
whatever you get from it, you get from it.
Well, and what I mean by is, like, religious people. Mm-hmm. Like, the difference between, like how magic differs from, like, traditional, like, Western religion is, in religion, magic's way more, like, Gnosticism.
Yeah.
In that, in Western religion... Like, it's a channel through God that you get, like, God, potentially even through God, through your priest, through a man.
Right.
That energy down
It's, like, divinely inspired.
Yeah, it's, like, everything. And then, like, in magic, it's, like, you are the priest.
Right.
Like, you are the one that gets the energy from
God. It's like the forces
also,
are out there, but you are choosing to channel it.
Yeah, and also that, like, everything is God, or that everything is, like... You know, everything is like the magic, rather than it being something that's channeled from a place out there. It's like in like Gnosticism and like in magic and stuff. Right. So for me, like, I've always, and again, I haven't read a ton of Crowley stuff, so he might be all those things, but like I've always read him as being like, you should figure out your will, like your deepest, truest will as a human being, and do that.
Oh, totally.
Because that's like the thing that's going to make you. Like, to me, it's very similar to, like, Joseph Campbell, like, follow the hero's journey.
Right.
What's your hero's journey? What's your will?
The monomyth, yeah.
What's your monomyth? Like, your ultimate thing, you know? So...
Sure.
He might be, totally. Well, he might be like L. Ron Hubbard.
Por qué no los dos, right? Like, you can get that from him, right? And it would be true. You know what I mean? Just because someone... Like, I don't believe in magic or any of that, right? But just because, to me, he is a snake oil guy, right, doesn't mean that you didn't find something of value. Yeah. And I also can find something of value in the terms of, like, that's an interesting person. That's an interesting character, right? Yeah. And so what we get from it is different, but you can still get something from it, right? Who am I to say, fuck you, what you got from it is wrong.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be empowered. You know,
I feel that way about like Scientology in a way. I mean, there's a lot of things that I think are bad about it.
Sure.
But then there's also like aspects where I've read, I don't know. There's a thing in Scientology that's like, people are gonna think I'm crazy for what I'm talking about. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Scientology because
sure.
it's very like seems like a very abusive religion, and it's very like.
I saw a horrifying documentary.
Yeah, I've seen that documentary too.
Yeah.
But one thing that I heard from it that I really liked, and it's a really insane way of thinking about it. And it was like Tom Cruise was talking about it. He's like, someone at like, so I don't know how this worked out. But like someone was like, "Why do you help people change tires?" Because like Tom Cruise is very famous for like pulling over if you see someone.
Oh, and he'll just help you change your tire.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Him and Jay Leno are like famous for that.
That's
like,
cool.
They just help people change their tires, whatever. And like they asked him why he does it. He's like, "Because I'm the only guy that can do it."
What?
It's like,
what?
It sounds insane. Like I don't exactly know the quote, but it's like, I really like the idea that like it doesn't matter. Like you're responsible for the situation you're in, and it doesn't matter how that situation got to be that way.
Interesting.
And I really like that aspect of like, I'm the only one who can pick up that litter.
It's such a Tom Cruise thing.
Because the litter's right there. There's all this litter at this park.
It's on me.
And it's like, I'm the only one that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a way of like absolving or not
absolving yourself of responsibility. Yeah.
And so it's
of owning it.
I think
cool.
that shit's crazy. But at the same time, I mean, and that's the thing too, like there's a quote from Aleister Crowley. I don't know what it is, but exactly what it is. But it's like, you're going to see things and you shouldn't attribute anything to it. Like you're going to do magic and you're going to see crazy shit.
Right.
But that doesn't mean
it's
real.
The magic you did caused the crazy shit to happen.
Yeah, and you should.
Alan Moore is very much like that.
Should be very like skeptical of everything that's like going on and that stuff.
I like that. That's interesting.
And Alan Moore, totally is like that. Where it's like, okay, you might be seeing this stuff, but you don't know exactly why. Like it's like you can't. It's like I don't know if you've ever like done mushrooms. Like
no.
Like you do mushrooms and there's a energy or like a force you're like tapped into, and when it's hard to do it when you're not there. And magic is the same thing where you're gonna go and say do something like beat a drums for a while. Like this sounds so cheesy.
Yeah.
Like do a drum circle, but like you do a drum circle, guaranteed, as cheesy as it is. Like you walked in up like a bunch of fucking hippies doing a drum circle, and you got in that drum circle and got a drum and started doing that. Like 20 minutes later, your mind isn't going to be the same.
Right.
You're going to have done something like meditative or something.
Yeah.
Some
tapped into that.
You're going to have done
shit.
something. Something you might be like more mad. I don't know, but like magic works in that way too. Like I think there's like moments where you break through. Like an orgasm's like that, where it's like a breakthrough moment of your consciousness has changed.
Right.
No. We were talking about that earlier, like, if the only way you know how to get high is by making art, then you'll make so much
much goddamn art.
Because, like, that's your only
well, because you're chasing that, yeah.
And I really like thinking about that now because there's just so, and that's why I've smoked weed and stuff, but, like, I've never fucking... done more than that because I don't want to fucking find any other dragons,
right.
So we should make sure this is working. Yeah, it's working. We've done about 30 minutes. You want to keep doing a little more?
It's whatever, man.
Okay. Sometimes I gotta just check to make sure it's like still on.
Alan Moore's I want to read more on him. I want to read more on Alan Moore, and then I'll translate that and go read into Aleister Crowley because that's interesting. That's a cool take on it. Because for Alan Moore, he'll go and he'll do, he'll talk and he'll be like, for him it's very open attribution, right? Where he's like, sure, I might do this, this thing, this ritual or whatever, and then I produce this work, But for him, like, the work is the ritual, right? Like, him writing a thing is his own version of, like, a mimetic ritual, right? Like, his magic is changing what people think about, right? And who's to say he's wrong? Or, you know what I mean? It's like someone goes and reads Watchmen, and then they think about, you know, society differently. Who's to say that is not a form of magic? That's what Alan Moore might say, right? Or at least
Well,
that's my interpretation.
if you think about it too, it's like alchemy.
Right, exactly.
So I didn't invent words or pictures,
right,
or the pen or the paper, but I can use all these things.
I can use them
like alchemy.
and I can change you with them.
And that is like, that would be very similar to like how Grant Morrison would talk about magic.
Right.
Or even again, like going to Joseph Campbell, like and I think Joseph Campbell does believe in like that, you know, it's the story, like
the story is the thing.
Yeah, but there's like a magic to it. It's like
right.
There's a magic to Archie. Why there's Betty
right.
and Veronica? That's like there's
right.
a magic to the reason that's been something for like 70 years now.
Do you like Betty or do you like Veronica?
Or like Star Wars.
Right.
Like Star Wars is there.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was in 1977. 40 years later now, it is, or 50 years, whatever it is.
Oh, right.
Like,
well,
and that's when people are like, I'm mad about franchise, I'm mad about this. Like, it is bad in a way, but it's like, just because...
No, it's the most American artwork ever. You know what I mean? We had jazz, blues, and rock and roll, and now we have motherfucking Star Wars.
Yeah, and comics.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like all these things are, just because Dan Slott is someday going to quit Spider-Man, doesn't mean that they're not going to make Spider-Man books.
Right.
So it's like, okay, when people are like, why are they rebooting Spider-Man again? It's like, because we now have Spider-Man.
Right.
He wasn't, now he is. Like, there's the technologies there.
Well, it's okay.
And it's not Game of Thrones where it's a story.
Right.
Spider-Man is an ideology.
It's a character in a world.
It's not, it doesn't have an end. It's never ending.
Isn't it so interesting thinking about creating a thing and then, so it used to be, right, like if you were lucky, you created a thing and then the thing you created outlived you, right? You know what I mean? Like you write a book and then you die, but the you know, people are still reading Dracula, you know, long after Bram Stoker's death, right? Mm-hmm. Still making Dracula movies and
everywhere. Yeah.
Shit, fucking great.
It's just
right?
on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. But this thing with comics where it's like, you know, you have a thing, and then a company owns it, and then they give it to someone else to work on, and that's still going to be associated with you in a way, or maybe you don't get associated with it, right? Like, so Bill Watterson, when he stopped making Calvin and Hobbes, that's it. There's no more Calvin and Hobbes, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he's got it locked down. But like you're saying with, you know, Batman, there's going to be people writing and drawing Batman as long as there are comics and people to draw and write about Batman.
Yeah, it's like 80 years now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, who was it? Bill Keane? Who invented Batman?
Bob King and Bill Finger.
And Bill Finger. They invent Batman. What happens in 100 years, right? And like people use Batman to say maybe something that those guys wouldn't have agreed with, right?
Totally, yeah.
Like, what is that? I'm not saying I have an answer. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just interesting to think about, right? Like, what happens when you make a thing and then it's in other people's hands?
You're just talking about how, like, Doomsday Clock is the sequel to Watchmen that's coming out.
Right, exactly.
And
and Alan Moore's not working on it.
He's not working on it at all. And he would probably hate it. Or maybe he wouldn't.
I don't know if he'd hate it, but like, it's certainly...
He would hate the idea. He doesn't want people
well, it
to
doesn't
do his
feel
stuff
like
with
the
his
same thing. Like Watchmen and DC...
Watchmen
comics,
was his own universe.
Right. They don't feel like the same thing.
Yeah.
They don't, you know.
Totally. And so, but going in, and like, that's what makes it so, you know, that's what I think would be so interesting, or I do think it's so cool that they're doing it, is just because there is an aspect of like, you shouldn't touch that, and it's his own thing, but I don't know, it's pretty cool, the idea that that fucking Dr. Manhattan maybe made the DC universe,
right.
and or fucks with it every once in a while just for fun.
Sure.
Like, he comes in it. But I think if the idea is that he made it, I really like that. Like, you know.
Right, like that is...
Like, he's the one
if there are
that
multiple
made Batman,
universes,
and
he made that universe that has them.
And they're all kind of, yeah. But, yeah,
weren't you saying, like, the New 52 was, like, super gritty? Like, in the style of Watchmen?
Yeah, it's just way more, I mean, it was just, that's what people, you know, like with Frank Miller and all the stuff that he did in the 80s, like, that's just when people think about Batman and stuff. And that's like, they try to make Superman more like Batman. And that didn't really do well. And so now, like, with the New 52, and right before the New 52, when they were doing Superman and Lois, and that was like the old pre-New 52 Superman, and Superman and Lois, and you find out that Superman had a kid, Jonathan Kent.
Oh, shit.
And then he came, and then, like, eventually he merged with the New 52 Superman, and they became one person. I don't completely understand how that works.
But point being is they took a darker tonal shift.
They did, but with
and
Rebirth,
now they've decided we're going to step back.
And they're selling it really well. Like,
cool.
Superman's like, you read Superman right now. Like, if you're into, like, superhero comic books, like, but that's not always true.
Right.
You know, there's times when, like, Green Lantern is, like, really doing amazing, so you might read that. And there's different times when runs are going in, and then now it's a time where, like, Superman is fucking back, and that's what it should be, because he is DC. Him and Batman are, and I think that, like, the whole narrative that Superman's a boring character and stupid is, to me, that's so boring.
No.
And it's so old. It's old hat, and I think that, like, we need Superman. Like, right now, when Donald Trump's our president,
we need Superman.
We need someone that is better.
Well,
we need, like, Jesus.
Not just that,
we need the perfect human being, the man who always does the right thing. Like, if we're in a society where, like, all our politicians are doing the wrong thing, it's not the time for Man of Steel. Like, Man of Steel shouldn't be, like, an apocalyptic movie.
Right.
It should be a movie about, like, wow, we've really gone off course, and here's, like, where we're trying.
Right.
Where we need to be.
Superman is an aspirational character.
Yeah.
You should want to be like Superman. Which is why I thought Billy Batson, Captain Marvel, was so cool, right? Because he's a kid. He's Billy Batson, but then he gets to turn into the world's mightiest immortal. You know what I mean? And you know, it's like not just Superman, but is it the right time for this version of Batman? Like, we just had Christopher Nolan Batman. We just had super gritty Batman, and like Dark Knight was great. You know, Heath Ledger turned in the performance of a lifetime. You know what I mean? But what I liked about the Batman animated series was that Bruce Wayne was this persona that he puts on, right? But it's like Bruce Wayne was like a philanthropist and like a really good businessman and like trying to like affect the world in the way that, you know, billionaire Bruce Wayne could affect the world. And that's kind of what's so cool. I think they were doing a thing in the I'm really interested to see what the Batman stuff ends up being like, because he's got the different Robins, right? And not Jason Todd, the one after him who became Red Robin.
Yeah, Tim Drake.
Tim Drake, right, is doing that thing where he's like, you need to be like Batman. You're just thinking about like how to fight crime at like this level. We need to be thinking about it at like a bigger level. Right, at a more macro level. Mm-hmm. And that's super interesting to me. Like, what happens when Batman has to step back and go, like, you know, I've trained up all these people, I've started all these organizations, but I never dealt with my trauma, and it's stopping me from really helping people, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting. I think that's a cool one. And I really like... So, I mean, even though Marvel right now has gotten stale sort of with the movies, with the cinematic universe, in the DC cinematic universe is in shambles, right? Like, it'd be better if they didn't have one.
Fox is doing pretty good right now. Or doing as good with Deadpool and Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, no, keep continuing.
Oh, no, and those were great.
It's just interesting.
Well, it's like they're trying risks. They're trying new things tonally.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think DC has always had incredible animated products. Like, the DC animated universe right now is so good. I'm so interested in everything they do. They had Batman versus Robin, like the Bad Blood. They had Justice League Dark was so good.
So that's all very New 52-ish.
Is it? It's all very good.
It's all very good. Yeah, there was never
Justice League versus Teen Titans. Yeah, that was great.
I like that one.
Judas Contract. I even liked the They just did the Mark Hamill one. It was Killing
Harley
Joke.
Quinn?
They just did Killing Joke.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Well, they trashed on it because in it Batman, like,
Fucks
spoiler,
Batgirl.
yeah, he fucks Batgirl. I thought that was fine. Like, I didn't care. You know what I mean?
I think it's because
it's kind of hot.
I think it was just because it was like, really, Dick Grayson's girlfriend, you fuck, or like.
I mean, I think that also happens in Batman Beyond, though. Like that, like in some instances, like Batman fucks Barbara Gordon.
Oh, he does, huh? Yeah. And
yeah.
He does do that, and it's like. I mean.
Like, in some versions, Batman's not a good person.
There's some version, too, where, like, I don't know, in some universe, like, Batman gets his girlfriend to wear his mom's pearls, and that's some, like, Freudian,
that's some Freudian shit.
But
that's the thing, like, sometimes...
That makes sense, maybe he's, like, addicted to that.
Well, like with New 52, with Rebirth, there are different versions, and it's like, you know, maybe right now we need the cleaner version. We need Bruce Wayne, who's a cool stand-up guy, right? We need Batman Animated Series.
Well, yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't enjoy that fucked up version of Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just...
And it fits for Killing Joke. Like, it fits for this, like, insane thing
well,
with
you've
the
heard
Joker.
the theory of, like, the Killing Joke, the ending is how it's... it's called the Killing Joke because Batman snaps his neck. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. And that was like, Grant Morrison was like the
first
guy that
it
really
ends
talked
with him
about that.
laughing, right?
Yeah. And then it's...
and it ends, but the theory is that afterwards...
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that he killed him. You know, because it was like the final straw because he shot Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting thing. And Alan Moore, of course, would tell like the last Batman story, you know, or whatever. But you'll love because what Grant Morrison does with Batman, he had a huge like 7-year Batman run. Massive.
Which ones would I know from him? Because like, you know, Frank Miller had Dark Knight Returns.
I mean, he did really insane shit.
Okay, which I'm looking forward to.
We'll get through on the podcast, but it's crazy. I don't know none that are like. I mean, Batman, and he created Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne's a cool character.
So Damian Wayne, all those like animated movies you're talking about.
Yeah, I really like those.
Like Damian Wayne is Grant Morrison's creation.
Cool.
So,
I mean, that's the thing. It's like they can't get their live action shit together, but their animated, you know, whatever department that is killing it right now.
Yeah.
They've been doing all kinds of cool stuff. They had the Flashpoint Paradox was really good.
That was a good movie, yeah.
That was really good.
Really good job.
They had Gods and Monsters, where it was like an alternate universe.
Oh,
where
I haven't
like
seen that.
Superman was adopted by like Mexican immigrant farmers.
Nice.
And Wonder Woman was like the child of like Darkseid or something. And no, she was a child of one of the new gods, fucking Allfather.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Batman was like a scientist who got infected with like bat mutagens.
That's cool.
And literally dragged people. Like, it was all crazy, but it was really good. And then they just did the Harley Quinn movie. It was really good. And it was like more lighter. It was funny, but it was fun.
People were mad about like that it was like kind of sexist or whatever.
Which part?
Like, just like Harley Quinn is like very sexualized or whatever.
Oh, the whole time.
But it's like that's always been their dream. Like that's always been Bruce Timm's dream. Like
oh yeah, well I mean he created her, right?
Paul Dini created her, I think.
Because she came in for animated series. They created her, right?
Series, yeah.
Well, it's great. Like there's this great scene where Nightwing is trying to help Batman track down Harley Quinn, and like he can't find her, right? And he goes by this restaurant and he looks in and it's just filled with like hot waitresses dressed as different superheroines.
That's awesome.
And villains and shit. And there's just a Harley Quinn in there and he's like, that's where she'd be. But like this guy goes and tries to grab her ass and she just breaks his fucking heart. You know what I mean? It's these badass chicks, dude.
Well, and that's the thing, like Bruce Timm has a pinup book of like, you know, Catwoman.
Sure, I bet he loves that stuff.
And now, you know, it's interesting going back to like Batman being fucked up and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you were talking about like Alan Moore and like what is it like when people take over your creation. Yeah. You know, and I'm sure it like makes him mad with like Watchmen especially because it was its own thing.
Right.
It's like its own universe where it's like, but he got mad too even if people went and messed with stuff like that he didn't just create. You know, like so stuff that he like worked on.
Do we know about this? Like, have you ever heard anything about, you know, people working on his stuff and him getting
Yeah,
upset?
he
does not like it?
He does not want people like working on, like Swamp Thing. He didn't invent Swamp Thing.
Right, he just did his
revolutionized Swamp
Right.
Thing. But he still doesn't like want, as far as I know, still doesn't want people like fucking with Swamp Thing. Like he thinks like he should be like the last guy.
The last guy to do Swamp
gets,
Thing.
like all, you know, and so like that's sort of where
Which
it
maybe
becomes,
that's a bit much.
It's a bit
but
much.
at the same
It
time,
makes
his
sense on
version of
Walmart.
Swamp Thing is great.
Yeah, and it makes sense on the Watchmen, but I'm excited about that stuff. But it is a thing where I can't remember what I was talking about, but we were just talking about the
new version of the Watchmen that they're talking about, maybe, or this
Yeah.
DC crossover.
what were we talking about right before that? I'm trying to think. It doesn't matter.
The animated movies, or the new.
Oh yeah, but like that's like just part of the deal. It's like people are going to.
Bruce Timm loves that shit.
Oh, Batman! So Batman right now in the comics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he loves tits, dude. He loves tits and ass.
I fucking bet. It's great.
Like,
I love
do
it too.
It's like we love it, God.
Yeah.
You know.
God bless him.
Yeah. So in the comic books right now, you know, you were talking about how like Batman was fucked up and needed to deal with his emotional shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Batman just proposed to Catwoman.
In the comics?
In the comics.
Wow.
They're maybe getting married.
Batman
She
and
said
Selena
yes.
Kyle getting
Yeah.
hitched?
She said yes.
Boy.
But it's like, I love it.
Wow.
Because it's like,
That's interesting.
It goes into, like, the last arc that they just did that Tom King wrote. It really goes into, like, the whole idea of where he tells her the most fucked up thing he ever did.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you still want to marry me after this, but I want to tell you, you know, what I did. And it really goes into, like, that whole idea.
What did he do? I'm so curious.
Tried to
now.
kill the Riddler. Like,
Really?
murder him. It's actually pretty cool. So,
Wow.
there's this thing called the War of Jokes and Riddles, which is a really cheesy name, whatever.
Sure.
It's called the War of Jokes and Riddles, and it was
It's
like...
the Song of Fire and Ice, but for
Yeah,
for Batman.
exactly. So after the first year of him being Batman, and like Riddler, fucked up Gotham that first year, and then the Joker comes, and they just fuck up Gotham for a year, and they're going at war with each other, and like they're totally battling, super like this really really bad war. You know, like
Right.
tons of people are dying. Eventually, Batman gets into the very end of the arc is they're all fighting on this building, and like. Basically, the Riddler somehow tricked Batman into helping him kill a kid. I don't know exactly how it
Holy
happened. I can't
shit.
remember. But it was like he made Batman a part of it somehow. Like helping, you know, he made Batman like a part of this death of this kid.
Right.
I think like I can't remember exactly what happened. I'll have to go reread it. And Batman like got so fucking mad and just like grabs this knife and like goes to like kill the Riddler. But the Joker puts his hand in front of the knife, and so basically the whole arc, the Joker hasn't laughed, and he says he hasn't laughed for like a year or something, and then like that's right when the knife goes through his hand and he stops it, he starts laughing. So it adds this aspect of
That's cool.
to their relationship, like he is the reason that Batman is Batman, because he was totally ready to cross that line he would have never gone back from.
Right.
Like, if Batman killed anyone, he would have never.
He wouldn't be
back.
Batman anymore.
He would never come back from it.
No.
And that's like I think what's interesting about the Batman versus Superman Batman
Is that Batman kills a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, he kills people in jail, right? He never because that was a dream sequence where he was like shooting everyone.
Yeah. We had a gun.
But he kills people when he sends them to jail.
He sends them to jail.
He
Where
gives
they
them like death sentences.
death
of that brand.
sentences. He'll like.
And
then like it's kind of like an off-screen thing, but like he murders a shit ton of people with that Batmobile.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing, but at the same time, like initially I was super hated that. Initially I was like, fuck this. Superman's a murderer and Batman's a murderer.
Batman.
But then I was kind of like, I could totally see Batman doing that.
Sure.
Like making that mistake once and like
And
never
then that
coming
turning
back.
him.
Not the Batman in the comics, but like an Elseworlds
Right.
kind of Batman. And that's kind of
that's what
where
I
I
like.
forgave the movie more because Ben Affleck fucking kills it.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was a
does
great.
a really
he was a
good
great
job.
Bruce
and
Wayne.
Alfred's so good in it.
Yeah.
I can't think of that
I
guy's
can't remember his name.
But
And Michael Caine is so memorable. Like it's hard to follow that, and I thought he followed it well.
by doing it so different because
Yeah, exactly.
he's like the version of Alfred that was like in the army.
Right.
You know, like the old army. Like a version of Alfred.
Yeah, he was like SAS Alfred.
He wasn't a butler. He was
Yeah.
like a yeah, exactly.
But and like, you know, part of why I liked the movie for and that's the thing too, right? Is like people are following these characters over, you know, years and years and arcs, and in the film version of Killing Joke, it's like, you know, so what if he kills, or if he fucks Barbara Gordon, or if, you know, it's implied that he kills the Joker, because it's like, that's this version, you know what I mean? In the Batman Harley Quinn movie, it's like, okay, well, that's this version, you know what I mean? They're all drawn differently, and when these movies are drawn differently, or these shows are drawn differently, it helps differentiate, like, okay, well, that happens in this version, and so that's what makes them fun. It's like an Elseworlds version of Batman, where it's like, I know Batman wouldn't kill people, but in this universe, that one time he slipped up and killed a guy, and now he's doing all this shit. Now we get Frank Miller Batman, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's fun. It's a fun what if thing, right? Kingdom Come, right? The Elseworlds one does a really interesting take on that, where it's like there's a great bit where, because it's all kind of based around this idea of like the next generation of superheroes are indistinguishable from supervillains because they'll kill to stop the villains, right? Like this villain, this hero Magog, Joker goes on a rampage in Metropolis instead of Gotham and kills all these people, and even Lois Lane. And Magog stops the Joker by killing the Joker. And his whole thing is like, well, Superman, how can you say you're a hero? If you'd have just killed the Joker, all these people would still be alive, right? I'm the hero. And Superman backs off, and we get a world without Superman. And the end of that is like, you know, there's this big conflict going to happen, right? And Superman flies over to Bruce Wayne, who, other than like, you know, a month ago, he hasn't seen in years. And he's like, Bruce, you have to help me right now. Stop this thing. And Bruce Wayne's like, why? You know, this blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. And he's like, because if there's one thing that I know about Bruce Wayne, it's that he hates people getting killed. Right? That's the one thing about Batman, is that Batman doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
Right? And then he fucking flies off. And sure enough, Batman comes in and helps save the day, right? But for me, that's instrumental into like the canon Batman. The canon Batman doesn't kill people.
That's definitely like the post-Crisis on Infinite Earth Batman doesn't kill people.
Yeah. Was that a New 52 thing?
Well, Crisis is something that happened in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
But Crisis on Infinite Earth. But like, because the original Batman, like the Bob Finger
murdered the hell out of people.
He shot people.
Yeah,
he had a gun.
He had a gun.
He fucking killed people.
Right.
And then the one like where Crisis on Infinite Earth was like a total reset in continuity, pretty much. They made it like, Batman never killed people. I never like had guns. I think maybe he had a gun, but like he never killed anyone with it.
Right.
You know, like he had a gun, but because I agree. I think it is like something where these are properties that people, you know, I'm 31. These are for kids. These are for like teenagers.
Right.
For like up to like 17-year-old, you know, before you become cynical. These are who the story should be for, I think. I mean, it is cool to have like, you know, like The Dark Knight Returns, like Frank Miller. It's obviously one of the best it's probably the best Batman book ever. It's probably my favorite, like single.
The animated
Batman
version is incredible.
So good too.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I like that, but at the same time, I do think it's like Pixar. It's like, okay, well, Pixar it shouldn't go above 12-year-olds. Pixar, like the oldest, you know, they should be made for people like 12 and under. You know, adults should have the layers they understand too. But there's just aspects of like with comic books. It's like, well, go make a different kind of Batman. That's a really horrible guy.
Right.
You know, go create a character that's really similar to him. And like Mark Millar did that. I can't remember when. But like he made a version of Batman that was like a really like murderous dude.
Wasn't it like Batman Year One or something?
He wasn't actually Batman. It was like a different character. It was called Nemesis.
Oh, okay.
He made a book called Nemesis.
Interesting.
They'll probably make that, and then because they bought Millar World. Netflix did. Netflix is going to be starting making a lot of Mark Millar stuff. Did you watch the new Kingman? I didn't see it.
The new Kingsman? No, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
No.
That was stupid of me. I should have gone. Did you not like the first one?
I thought it was okay. Like it wasn't bad.
One.
Like it was good.
I really love it.
I didn't feel a need to go like I got to see the second one.
People said it was the same, and I was like, well I don't want to see more. It's like
if you liked the first one, then the same would be great, you know.
But I don't know because it's like Star Wars. It's like what's great about Star Wars movies is what makes them different. What's great about the original trilogies is like what differentiates the three, like how well they follow the Joseph Campbell thing.
Oh, sure.
You know, I mean, obviously, like you can make the arguments of like the Ewoks or whatever, but at the same time, with Joseph Campbell's arc, things start to get better in the third act.
Right.
Things do get better, you know, in the hero's journey, like pretty much most of the time. Gilgamesh ends really Gilgamesh fucking ends on downer note, right? I can't really remember what happens. Well, but I remember like reading the end of Gilgamesh and being
Enkidu dies, right? And then I haven't read Gilgamesh in like 8 years.
Yeah.
Shit.
It didn't like totally follow the hero's journey in the sense that like I remember it not being like a total like the hero wins and like all this, but like
Star Wars 100%.
Star Wars does that. Like they're like
well then it's also
dead. And
did you see the movie it was based off of, Hidden Fortress?
Yeah, for sure.
I love Hidden Fortress.
Yeah, great movie.
So good. I would want to do a podcast just on the works of Kurosawa in a chronological order.
Dude, I would not do well on that. I would watch that podcast.
You're not into Kurosawa?
I'm super into him. I just feel like that there's such a wealth of information with him.
Oh,
like
sure.
I wouldn't be able to like properly.
Me neither.
You know what I mean?
But it's crazy.
It'd be fun to do.
One of my roommates last year, 2 years ago, during his thesis. His thesis was on women in Japanese cinema, right? But because of that, he had to watch like 50 of these like Japanese movies, and he turned me on to Kurosawa, because I'd only seen like Throne of Blood and like
it's so good. So
Senjuro, Yojimbo,
yeah.
Senjuro.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're gonna love this guy. And so in the space of like a month, I watched like 16 Kurosawa movies.
Like High and Low and all that stuff.
I love High and Low. High and Low's amazing. Yeah. I started like chronologically though. So I started with Drunken Angel.
Oh, nice.
And I went all the way up to Dreams.
Dude, that's probably the way to do it, huh?
Yeah. I haven't seen the ones he did after Dreams, but like it was incredible. Like in 1 month I watched I've seen out of any one person's work, I've seen the most Kurosawa, right? Mm-hmm. Like I've seen like, 7 or 8 Spielberg movies or like 5 or 6 Linklater movies, but I've seen like 16 fucking Kurosawa movies, and this just happened. And like cool. I'm so into it. He's amazing.
He's so good.
He's amazing.
It's like him, Fellini.
He's like the master of the fucking composed crowd shot. It's amazing. Yeah. God, he's so good. He's
those guys like Hitchcock and the guys that are just the greats. Mm-hmm. It's awe-inspiring
to watch them. Yeah,
and just it's so cool. Like you were saying about like their body of work. Like it's really fun to watch how fucking good people who work their asses off get it. Like music is stereotypically like the only thing that people like don't, besides like the Beatles or people that I think are really good. Mm.
Where they follow the arc of them.
Yeah, there's not that many bands like that. But or directors or
people
comedians
will do the thing where they're like, "Oh, I loved their album here."
Yeah,
and then after that, they were shit.
Well, like Weezer,
their later albums.
What the fuck is a Weezer?
Right.
It's like they made like a couple good albums, and then they're like just made complete shit trying to like make photocopies of their old stuff, and it's like they're not fucking Fellini. Right. They're not fucking Kurosawa. They're not like equivalent of that in their genre. And it's so the people that are just so incredible, that's just awe-inspiring. Yeah. It really is. Like, I need to watch a lot more Kurosawa, but like watching fucking, I love fucking like Wong Kar-wai. I went through and I just like watched all his movies.
Do you have a copy of Chungking Express?
I don't.
Fuck.
I wish
That's
I
the
did.
one I really want to watch.
That's a great movie.
I have not gotten to see it. I really want to watch it.
It's so fucking good, man.
Like
And
not a high and low.
he makes great romances.
Not Realm of the Senses. Fuck. What was the Mood for Love?
The one where they fuck all the time.
No. Realm of the Senses is where they fuck all the time. That's a different
movie, right?
Yeah, that's Ozu. Yeah.
Ozu.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's Ozu.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure not.
Realm of the Senses?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's Oshima. Nagisa Oshima.
Oshima, that's it. Yeah. That's Realm of the Senses. But no, In the Mood for Love, which is like there's no on-screen fucking in the Realm for Love. Like the
that's Wonka Wai,
the wife and the other the guy's husband. They never fuck, and but it's so good. It's such a tense movie. Like I was on pins and needles the whole time watching that movie, just going like, oh, there's so much fucking tension here. Oh god.
His early movies are really good too. And sure. And I always forget. Like, I always think, like, who's my favorite filmmaker? And I'm like, all right, probably Richard Linklater's probably my favorite, like, writer-director. Mm-hmm. But my favorite just director, and I always just forget, is Ang Lee.
His shit's dope, dude.
He's perfect.
Dude, Crouching Tiger?
Crouching Tiger's
so
amazing.
Good. I didn't hate the horror movie.
You ever seen Ice Storm?
No, what is that?
Dude, the Ice Storm is so fucking good. Like, he's an immigrant. Mm-hmm. He's from Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna check that out.
No one has made a movie about white people better than The Ice Storm.
Really?
Like, it is about like.
Do you have a copy? I could.
You know about like the kind of emptiness of like the like Fight Club. Like it's nothing like Fight Club, but like.
But that theme of like the emptiness of modernity.
Like so they don't go to an anarchistic phase or whatever.
Right.
But that whole like. Numbness of like white American like middle America or whatever.
Yeah.
Like no one has done that better than The Ice Storm, and it's just awesome that it's like an immigrant. We'll wrap this up.
Oh, dude, I gotta check that out.
Fuck.
Did he do Shin Godzilla?
What's that?
Did he do Shin Godzilla?
I don't think so.
Shit. What's some of his newer stuff? What's the thing?
He did that movie. I can't think of what it's called, where the kid's on a boat. And he's like all the fucking lions and shit.
Oh, Life of Pi.
Life of Pi.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous movie.
Yeah, that was really
Damn,
good.
His shit is great.
That was like...
He even did the Speed Racer movie, which I never saw, and all I heard was...
That was Wachowski's.
No, that was Ang Lee, wasn't it?
No.
That was the Wachowski brothers?
Yeah.
Shit, I want to watch that.
Dude, you gotta be really fucked up to watch that movie.
Really?
Don't watch it sober. I really, really like Speed Racer.
Uh-huh.
People who don't like it, I don't know what they think it was supposed to be. Like,
right.
It's like
his name is Speed Racer. You know what I mean?
It's out there. I think you should sit up close to your TV.
Well, it's almost like the opposite of a gritty reboot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like right now, it's like we got all these gritty reboots. We're gonna do Riverdale, which is a gritty, which I love Riverdale. But it's like before the wave of gritty reboots, someone went like, we need to have the fucking neon explosion reboot.
But dude,
yeah.
Speed Racer's like that. But Ang Lee's, he did that movie Lust, Caution. That was pretty good. Okay. That was really good, actually.
I didn't see that. I want to check that out.
There's a lot of on-screen fucking in that movie.
Cool.
It was awesome, dude.
Cool. You saw In the Realm of the Senses, right?
Yeah.
That movie was awesome. I watched that movie. So we had this big open window because me and my roommates used to live across from the university. And I didn't realize there was like a basketball game that night. So there's like families walking by. And it's like that first blowjob scene where she's like blowing him on the couch and he just like leans back and starts smoking a cigarette.
It's not simulated sex.
It's so good,
They are having
it's
sex
so well composed.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous movie.
But it is it's none of it's simulated. They're having total sex.
Oh, it's all real.
She puts an egg in her vagina.
It's crazy.
Right?
It's all real.
There is a scene where she puts an egg in her vagina, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
There's a scene where like he bangs this old woman. Like it's
in front of her. Yeah.
In front of her.
Awesome.
It's a great movie though. Like it's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, Nagisa Oshima's badass.
He's a badass. I really want to see Death by Hanging. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks really good.
But that movie is great, and it's so weird.
So I had to go and like close the blinds because it's like, oh shit, this guy's getting a blowjob in here.
And they're gonna fuck for real. Lot. There's gonna be scenes. There's so cum in that movie. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. There's
But I like that, man.
I want to make a whole movie.
I want to make a whole movie where people, it's like an hour and a half, and it's just a sex session.
Yeah.
You know, and it's about like I mean, I'd be like, that'd be way too much sex, probably. But like, I want to figure out a way where like, you know, because when you have sex, like you have breaks. But it was definitely like in the realm of the senses is like the inspiration of like, man, like it's fun to watch people fuck.
It's fun to watch people fuck.
It also like has
it's
this
also
crazy
a gorgeous movie.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, where. And the other one that he did, I can't remember the other one where like it's all about ghosts and shit.
The other Oshima movie?
Yeah, I mean, he's made a bunch.
He's made a bunch of movies.
But there's the one that's like in the realm of senses. I can't remember what it's called, but like I love that is a folklore story in Japan.
Yeah.
Whereas like that would never. And they don't like.
Well, it's a romantic thing for them. It's like, wow.
She loved him.
She loved him so much.
She cut his
dick off.
And like
they keep it forever.
Yeah, and it's like we would never like. That's not our narrative on Lori and Bobbitt.
No.
Like that is not how we interpreted that story.
Oh God.
So it's very interesting. Like when I watched it, because I went in and like she got released later on from jail and like just like I lived a normal life. It was just like this lady that was like this very iconic. Yeah. Like, oh, you cut that dude's dick off. But like Lorena Bobbitt's not like celebrated in our culture, and obviously it's not the same story, but like it's very interesting.
No, that was the thing. That was like he died, so that was
so different than Japan.
But yeah, it's crazy.
It's
so interesting. Have you seen a movie called Harakiri?
Dude, that movie is incredible.
You seen Harakiri?
Dude.
Fuck yes, I'm so happy. Nobody else that I fucking want to talk to movies about has seen Harakiri.
Well, because it's the guy who wrote fucking Rashomon. Directed it. Or I don't think he directed it. No,
because Kurosawa directed Rashomon.
Sorry. But whoever wrote Rashomon, like wrote the screenplay.
Directed
Harakiri. At least he wrote the screenplay. I know the writer's the same.
I mean, it's very similar in the sense of like this guy telling a story.
Yeah.
You know
that
what
movie
I mean?
is
Multiple timelines.
So fucking
amazing.
Good. The payoff,
amazing. The payoff is incredible. The build up to the payoff is amazing.
Like rarely
everything is so good, so good. And then the post payoff, after the end, where like the guy, the fucking clan leader's just sitting there like, this never happened. This guy died like a bitch. And our 3 guys got sick and died in battle. That's it, right? No one will ever know what happened here. And you're just like, damn, Japan.
The whole
movie,
the whole hypocrisy of
is so good.
All of
these like samurai nobles,
leadership, like all of just humanity.
It's so good
because we're not Superman.
So good,
so good. Dude, that's cool. Yeah, I've never met anyone that's. I've asked you about Harakiri.
Have you seen Harakiri? Yeah, I love it.
I've never actually talked to someone.
So excited, dude. We should watch some movies together sometime.
Dude, yeah, we could. You know, what we could.
Have you seen House?
We could even do on the pod. Yeah, House is fucking.
House is great.
Do you have a film struck?
No, I want to.
Like
I've heard good stuff.
Everything.
Oh,
have you ever watched the Luis Buñuel?
No.
So. What? Maybe
you see the guy who like the moon gets shot in the eye with the rocket, like Scorsese keeps alluding to it in Hugo, like that guy.
No. I know who you're talking about though. Mm-hmm. I can't think of that guy.
Who's Buñuel then?
He just did. He did a lot of crazy movies. He's just like one of those like guys like film struck where you're like Fellini. Buñuel, Renoir.
I can't remember this guy's name right now, but I just got a movie called When Mountains May Depart, and it's this director out of China who's supposed to be really good. I'm gonna watch it. I'll let you know how it goes. Because like that, like two of my roommates were really into the Criterion movies, which Filmstruck is like the Criterion channel.
Yeah.
So I don't have it, but like I would just go into their room and like borrow Criterion and watch it. And so I'm trying to expand outward from the Criterions, but like there's so many great movies in there where it's like I wish people had seen like Harakiri, right? I was like, I wish people saw this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that like? Man Bites Dog or Dog Bites Man? I can't remember. Like anything you watch on those are pretty much. I don't think I've There's been some I've turned off because they were just too boring for me, or they're just too
like
slow.
They'll put some on there that it's like, this is notable for this. And it's like, oh, it's cool that was the first thing that did whatever, but like, fuck this movie.
But but that's like so rare. Like most of the Criterions I've watched have been like
so cool,
so good. I mean,
fucking,
and they do stuff like obviously like
Did you see Le Samurai?
No, I don't.
Fuck, it's so good. We gotta watch it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, dude, here's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Like, maybe what we should do is do it like twice a month or 3 times a month. But instead of doing, like, we do a comic and then the next time we do a movie.
That'd be a fun one.
Or we do, like, if we did it more, we'd have to find an easier way to do this.
I've got that.
Because that's harder.
I've got it.
If you can do the video and shit.
No, let's not do video because I don't want people to see my face and shit.
No,
but
it's
let me get
all about video podcast.
You want to do a video podcast?
Well, because you got to do it double.
Okay. Well, why don't we do this,
both.
right? I'll bring in a Zoom recorder. I'll bring in an audio recorder, and then you'll grab your camera or whatever, and we'll just do a clap sync. But that way we can also pull off the audio a little easier.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking that it might be nice to do that, where like so like let's say we have a series where we go, okay, we're gonna do these. We're working on Grant Morrison and Akira Kurosawa. You know what I mean? So
and then we wrap someone up and then move on to
yeah. And
so where it's not we're only doing comic books the whole time, we're like switching it up too. Because that's the thing too. It's like we're all into like other stuff.
Right.
It's not.
Well, and I don't want to do like
anything.
just Criterion. You know what I mean? Like, and because I'm loving those movies, but there's so many other ones that I think are also. It's like we could talk about. John Carpenter or not John Carpenter. Who
I'm
did?
down to do that. I love John Carpenter.
Who did They Live?
John Carpenter.
It was John Carpenter?
Yeah.
Dude, we could do a fucking John Carpenter series, you know what I mean?
Man.
Holy shit.
He's fucking rock, dude.
Dude,
Escape
I love
from New York.
And I've seen that movie like 4 times, and I just watched it again with Dan like 2 months ago. They Live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Live.
yeah.
So good.
And like I finally got the line where they're in the I think they're outside the bank, and he's like, "Life's a bitch, and she's in heat," and I finally got like, "Oh, life wants to fuck you." Oh. It's like, these movies are great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, hitting the soundtracks. I think he did a lot of the soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
He scored a lot of his own movies.
That's awesome.
I definitely like, my main thing is I don't want to do anything critical.
Cool. Yeah, totally.
I'm not sure you guys.
Sure.
But like, I only want to do shit like that's really good.
Well, that you love.
I don't want to be like, let's watch Batman vs Superman and talk shit on it. Because it's like, I don't know. I don't want to spend my energy doing that.
No, that sounds awful.
There's some
That
like
sucks.
YouTube video channels, and there's some like podcasts.
Well, they just get off
and
by talking shit.
They're just, and it's like, you're gonna expend your energy somehow.
That's how they get their money.
I'd rather
people like that.
Yeah, I'd rather just not.
One of
I'd
the
rather
things-
like do stuff like do like genre noir.
Yeah.
Or something where like, or do something
We
do
could
something
jerk
that's
off
way
about
more-
Harakiri for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
It's way because I'm. You're gonna expend your energy somehow.
Right.
And it's like it might as well be like in
On a fun
positive
thing you love.
stuff instead of being like, and it's like you never know who you're gonna work with. Hopefully someday. You're like, I fucking hated all these movies
Right,
you
it's like,
made.
Harakiri was shit. Oh, well, that was my grandfather, so.
Yeah.
No, one of the things, because like one of my inspiration for this is kind of the Kurt Vonnegut's podcast I was telling you about. Like I really like it, and they're going through his body of work chronologically, front to back, but they open it with like Kurt Vonnegut is talking about the life and the works of Kurt Vonnegut because he's the greatest author ever, right? And like at the end of the podcast, they have a section where it's like, if you liked this, try Philip K. Dick, or try Harlan Ellison, or try Ray Brad, all these other things. But like, it's just their love for his works is so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I just love that it's like an opening device, like talking about the life and works of Kurt Vonnegut because he's the greatest author ever, right? Like they sit down, it's like they love this shit, and they want to talk about how much they love it and why you should love it.
Yeah, I love that too, man.
Yeah.
It's contagious.
Yeah. Dude, if we could get somebody to watch Harakiri, Do you know how happy I would be? Just that the one more person had seen that movie.
It's so true, man.
It'd be so cool.
And I don't like I don't like the snobbery of things like comic books.
Oh,
I don't
that's
think
awful.
I don't think that
That's the problem with the Criterions. Why I could never get
Yeah.
them because they're so expensive.
they're very expensive.
I can't do it.
And I'm not saying like that exists across the board with stuff.
No.
But there is an aspect of say like, like film,
Yeah.
and like world cinema,
Right.
or whatever, and then comic books. There's like this aspect of elitism.
Right.
Like I don't.
Have you read this thing? Have you? You know?
Yeah, definitely that's like true with books too. Whatever it is, but it's like we could all be, people who are into WWE could look down
I
at
love
us.
it. I love
They could
WWE,
look,
dude.
well, so let's say I don't know anything about it.
Uh-huh.
It's
a lot of
It's
fun.
the same thing where they could be like, "Oh, you don't know anything about the Undertaker," and obviously it's just like
me
everyone's got their
neither.
own.
I just
Everyone's
gotta
got their own interests.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I mean. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, fucking. I just don't. I don't get the whole like with film being a snob about it.
trying
It's
to
like you should try to
having a dick showing contest over like the thing you saw.
It's cool if like
Yeah.
someone watches like Obre Los Ojos or like a cool movie like that. It's like that's dope.
What is it called?
Obre, it's like what Vanilla Sky was made after.
Hombre Losos.
Obre Los Ojos, open
Obre
your
los
eyes
ojos.
in Spanish.
I'll check that out.
And you get to see
Is it good?
You get to see Penelope Cruz titties in Vanilla Sky.
Oh
But
shit!
then you also get to see Vanilla Sky was based off of Obre Los Ojos.
I see.
So you get to see her titties in Vanilla Sky. They look great.
Uh-huh.
And then you get to see Penelope Cruz's titties in Obre Los Ojos, and they look great too. And
Oh,
in
shit.
Obre Los Ojos, she's like a little more chubby. So it's very sexy.
Oh, cool.
Her boobs are on point.
Nice.
Both movies, but like Americans, they like you have to be so skinny in your movies. But like
Yeah.
here, she's got very nice puffy nipples.
We do
I can
weird
talk about
things.
tits all day.
Well, that'd be the other podcast. Is the tits podcast?
I love.
Have you seen these tits?
Have
or
you
something?
seen this? It is weird. It's a great book, and it's in this book, The Truth. I don't even know if I'm not even in the shot. I realize.
This has been just
I haven't.
my
It's just
fat
been your
face the whole
face.
time. That's awful.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
God.
It doesn't matter. But he has a thing where he's like, he says, men are, wow, it just got really quiet. But he says like, men are in non-drug related rehab for sex addiction, and women are in non-drug related rehab for eating disorders, and it's both about women's bodies. And you're like, that is crazy. That is
Shit.
American society. Like,
Yeah.
there weren't cave women like throwing up. Like,
Right.
I was thinking about that. It's like if every girl in the world gained 10 pounds, every single girl in the world gained 10 pounds right now. It just happened. It's not like we'd stop fucking girls.
No.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
So it's
even
like-
a little more. We might get some fucking done.
I just think it's like this crazy thing where there's like that huge, pressure. You're right. Like we do weird things. There's no way cave women were like, fucking.
Time to do it.
Gorgok's not gonna fuck me unless I fucking.
Oh God.
I can't eat those
Oh,
berries.
God.
Like, hey, we're going berry picking.
And if I
can't
don't,
eat
it's the
more
winter
berries.
snow. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait.
But no, I want to for a second your thing. So you were saying like that snobbery, that elitism of like, movies and comics. Like it's really prevalent. And for me, I like the thing of like, it's like, oh, you like this? Well, if you like this, check out this. Right? Like I don't want to, like it's not a one-up thing, but it's like I like to be introduced to
totally.
and like to introduce people to like things they might like. I wouldn't have seen Harakiri if my roommate wasn't like, oh, you liked Kurosawa? You might like this.
Yeah.
Right? I like the human Netflix, right? Netflix does the thing where it's like, because you watched this, you might, you know
totally.
what I mean?
And it's great stuff. Like Spotify, I've learned so much great music now because they look at the shit I listen to and they pop out like, you might like this fucking, you might like Harold Melvin.
There you
it's
go.
like, cool, Harold Melvin's cool.
Yeah.
Or,
And then we get to
there's
talk
tons
about
of there's tons of music. I can't really think of any right now. Fuck, man, I'm fucking out of it.
Cool.
Oh no, we all want to connect.
Yeah.
So it's kind of why.
Well, and that's just a
so
vehicle
like,
for it.
yeah, and so with conspiracy theories. Or like, they're people that like, they don't want, it's like people want to connect, but they also want to be like a part of an inclusive group and be unique.
Sure.
It's like you want to connect, but you want to be unique. So to me, it's like this kind of weird thing. But what I don't want, for me, snobbery is like disconnecting from connection. So it's like disconnecting from connection.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. You know
It's
what
like
I mean?
It's like, look how we're different.
But
Look
like,
how I'm
why wouldn't
unique in
you
this
want
thing.
people to get more into comics? Like, some
Right.
people are resistant to this idea that now more people are learning about comics.
I want everyone to be like me. You know what I mean?
But
Which
it's like-
is a joke, but like, you know.
But isn't that better that like you have more of a chance of like
Certainly.
being like going out with your girlfriend and watching a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Whereas like if you would have done that in like the 70s.
Yeah, I brought this girl to the new one, and she loved it. We both loved it.
Homecoming.
It was such a cool night.
Home, CUMMING coming, you know what I'm saying? Because you went on a date. Yeah, sorry, bad
I
joke.
was not coming after that.
Well, it was a bad joke. Whatever.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna 5 that.
This is so dumb. Sorry.
You shit.
I'll make
No, it's fine.
all
Me
the dumb
too.
jokes.
No, it's cool.
But so you went with this chick
I
to
just wish it
Homecoming.
wasn't recorded. I just hate having cameras and shit on. You know what I mean?
Cameras are cool.
I know cameras are cool. I like to be behind cameras
I'm glad that.
because I feel like everybody acts when the camera's on. It's hard. It's hard to fight that impulse.
We've done all right. This is a pretty normal conversation.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little more turned up.
yeah.
And when there's pauses, you're more like,
Oh boy.
and you don't say like, hey, what do you want to do? You want to watch some? It changes it a little bit, but it's still pretty normal.
Yeah.
There's an aspect of. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some people.
I'm sure I've been swearing, but in my mind, I haven't been swearing as much as I usually do.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah, let's do Grant Morrison. We'll figure out a
Grant
filmmaker.
Morrison.
Let's figure out a filmmaker that hasn't done a ton of movies.
Sure.
Find one that's like, but I'm totally down too, man. I mean, I would love to do even fucking like Charlie Chaplin.
He's
obviously-
done a lot. Of
He's done a lot,
fucking
but if we
movies.
even picked like 5 or something.
Sure, like we wouldn't need to do
You
like
know.
what the Kurt Vonnegut guys are doing and do like the whole
Yeah.
thing, but we could do like the selected works of over the course of their career. Like if we were gonna do, I mean Kurosawa, like it's not that I think if people are gonna see some Kurosawa movies, they should only see like 2 or 3. But if we were gonna do 2 or 3, we could do like Rashomon, Seven Samurai, High and Low. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I started thinking about Charlie Chaplin, and I started thinking about this girl that was like a Charlie Chaplin impersonator.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
That's cool.
And like I should have had sex with her when her Charlie Chaplin outfit.
I should
should
have
have
had
done
sex
that.
with. I
should've done that.
really don't want this to be recorded, but
You don't have to say it.
yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay. Because I'm fine with saying I wanted to fuck Charlie Chaplin cosplay. I
No,
could have.
that's fine.
Should have.
But that
Should've.
person's not in your life.
Oh yeah. She's not in my life.
Yeah.
She had that. So I figured out like the perfect scenario. You just do oral stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Just do oral shit. There's so
Is
much
that the perfect
less.
scenario?
Like if all this chicken I did was like 69,
Mm-hmm.
and so like our like exit was so much better. Like you realize like the exit of like having sex.
Oh, I see.
The one or you have sex with the girl
Sort of
once or twice.
the post.
The post.
Yeah.
The post. If you just do oral shit, it's perfect.
Cool.
It's just like such an easier transition to not being in each other's lives. But if you're fucked, it's like so much. I just realized that recently. Like
So
I was
much
like,
more
why was
clutter.
that so nice? I don't know. Also, just if the person moves away, that's the best.
Yeah.
Oh my
No
god.
shit.
Is there
Yeah.
anything greater than like having sex with a girl and then she moves?
Yeah.
You like get to have like 2 weeks of sex and then she just leaves. It's the best.
Yeah. It's the
You can
it's,
be
it's
so
the
intimate.
opposite
You
of
can
like
be so intimate.
it's
and honest.
you have sex with a girl and then like the thing doesn't, you're hooking up or whatever, after a while it doesn't end well, but like you're both still in the same place, so you have to keep seeing that person. Ooh.
Reno.
Yeah, Reno.
Reno
God, there's
is
this
so
girl
small,
who,
man. I mean,
She worked at
we're
a
probably Eskimo
hospital. I'm not
brothers.
going to say which one, but it's like, fuck, I could never go to that hospital. Like, if I get hurt, you know what I mean? Whew.
I just assume I'm Eskimo. I find out I'm Eskimo brothers with so many of my friends.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, oh, you fucked her too? Like, all right. I mean, like, whereas, like, in Utah, it was, like, such a big deal.
Right.
Where you're like, you could never, like, it would be, they're way more possessive of women in Utah, obviously, because of the Mormon culture.
Sure.
But, like, so it's very
But also, Reno's
to,
a pretty small town. Like, you run into a lot of the same people.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
But so was the town I grew up in.
Oh, okay.
Well, kind of. I mean, there was BYU. I was in Provost, and BYU was a lot of people coming in and out.
Right.
It was a huge school.
Yeah.
But fucking in Reno is, and you know what? Reno's just fucking crazy, man.
Reno is crazy.
Reno's crazy.
That'd be, you know, I was talking
You
to
just
Dan.
farted.
I did.
That was awesome. I totally farted on this podcast.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Sorry to bring it up. I like farts.
Cool.
They're great.
No,
Farts are
you're
fun.
great. I support you 100%.
I just wrote a song about how I want to have a girlfriend that I poo with at the same time.
Aw.
Do
you hold hands? In
Hold on,
stall?
here's the song. It goes, 2 toilets in our bathroom, you and me taking a poo. 2 toilets in our bathroom, holding hands while taking a poo. So that's
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Do you remember the song that I
Farts and
wrote
poos
that
fun.
we had you sing like 4 years ago for that little short that I was shitting out?
No.
It was like a rap I had you do, not a rap, but like with my roommates, and it was like, I was fucking up the pussy, I was fucking up the pussy, and then they all did like refrains and shit. It's just like 3 rounds of I was fucking up the pussy.
Did we...
That was so silly.
Did you ever do anything with that?
No, I filmed the rest of it, and the rest of it I lost the footage.
Oh, shit.
So it's all together, but like right in the middle. It's only like 2.5 minutes long, but right in the middle, there's just like a text panel explaining what would have happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. That's like classic old film.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There's that really, really famous movie where they lost so much footage and then everyone's all just like, psh.
Right. It's like, if you were watching it, this would be happening now.
Yeah. Was that the one where it was like a serial killer? Killed someone in that, right?
Yeah, you ended up killing like
Killed your roommate or something.
you killed Sam O'Brien, remember?
Yes.
Because like there's that shot where like,
dude, how fun will it be to have him on a podcast?
It'd be incredible.
Besides
Sam has the
the
best
shot.
stories.
Oh my god, give me a break.
No, but I was talking to Dan a couple of weeks ago, and he wants to do something that's like Reno based. Like he wants to do like a Reno public access kind of thing, but like that could be like an intermediary step between like nothing and Reno public access television. Could be like this Reno podcast where Dan comes in and like we just talk about what life is like in Reno.
Yeah, fuck trying to get on a fucking TV show, man.
No, he wanted to make one. He wanted to make like a Reno public access.
That's cool.
Like thing, like a channel. It is cool.
But do it on YouTube or something.
Well, sure, but like an easier thing is like just come in here and talk about Reno. You know.
That'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot we could do. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out like. I mean, for me, filmmaking,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this podcast is to get me talking to people, working with people, doing different things, and just like sitting in my basement, editing music.
Yeah, dude.
And like working on music. I love doing that, but it's like I did that for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to
Fucking branch out and do it.
Branch out. Which like we've got movie scripts. I'm not saying to like do anything with them right now, but we're making movies. I'm so excited, man. Goddamn. I'm so excited.
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
finish this series, man.
Yeah.
About pussy and food. Just like this podcast has been about. Not this exact episode.
Right. It's been about pussy.
We did eat food. We did get Little Caesars.
Get little C's beforehand.
That was fucking delicious.
Fuck yeah.
All right, let's
get out of here.
Let's stop.
I'm gonna piss and leave and.
Okay.
Cool.
God bless. Thanks for listening to the Here Here podcast. I'll see you motherfuckers later. Here I am, being a silly man. Look at my fucking door. Here I am, being a silly man. Here I am.
silly man. It's fucking November. I was in the desert. I'm gonna go buy a fucking door. No, it dropped. Here I am, being a silly man. Here I am, but now I've got a plan. I'm gonna do some shit. Get a new fucking door. Oh, where is my guitar? It's time to play some chords. I wanna kiss your lips. Your lips, they make me woo swoon. Silly, here I am, being a silly man. Here I am, being a silly man. Here I am, and I got you where I want you now. As you head to, as I feel. Disc versions of the Star Wars movies. Oh yeah, you always wanna be the laser disc version of the Star Wars movie. Baby, darling, you know I've got you. You got me too. I got you, I hope you got me too. I'm a little bit fucked up, as you can probably already tell. But I wanna get better, baby. I wanna get better up, and I want your help. But I'll give to you. I can help you. I can help you too. I wanna make you live so far away. That's so fucking gay. 'Cause I'll get some wheels. Maybe then we'll have fun walking through the field. Cares are now. Give Well, I think I'm gonna go to my friend's house. That's so sweet. I'm fucking tired. I had such a productive day though. I was so inspired by that date. Fucking so nice, man, to connect with somebody. It's just rare, dude. It's so rare. Especially, you know, whatever. It's just rare. I'm fucking went to Costco today. I got my hard drive. I'm gonna go buy a door so that I can fucking have a nice door for if this girl ever comes over, which I would love her to. 2 Twinkies, man. Like, I was thinking about, like, if you just wait until you get to know someone and make sure before you do anything. It's like there's this study that's like, there's this study that had people 1 Twinkie or 2 Twinkies. If 1 Twinkie now or 2 Twinkies later if you wait. And it's sort of, they gave these kids the opportunities to get the 2 Twinkies later or 1 right now. You know, what do you want to wait? Get 2? You have to wait a little bit, but you get 2, or have 1 right now. And I think, I was talking to my friend last night. It's like, love is the 2 Twinkies, dude. You just gotta wait. Like, it was so nice to kiss her, and like, I'm just like not even. I just said she was beautiful in a text, and it's like, I don't need to not harp on her beauty. But like, I need to not harp on her beauty. Basically, but I'm not even thinking about like that aspect of having sex. I mean, I'm activated in that area. Like, I mean, I'm a healthy young man who's I'm very attracted to her. I mean, but I'm not, like, that's not the end goal or anything. Like, I want to just get to know her. That's fun and cool. And it's cheesy. And I like cheese, man. Fucking pizza's like my favorite food, you know? Fucking, does Craigslist have any fucking doors? Y'all got doors, dude? Ooh. Stained glass solid wood door. Y'all still have this door? Do y'all still have this door? It's pretty cool, man. Put a fucking outside door indoors? Or front door indoors, dude? What's going on there? Okay, I see Hubley cast iron dog door stop. That's pretty cool. Dude, I want a fucking door, man. I just like, you know, I was talking to the lady, the young lady, about how now that the album's done, it's like really getting confronted with shit like, oh, I have a door with a hole in it that is, I covered the hole up with a pillow. It's fucking, I covered the hole with a pillow, and that's, and I stuff a pillow to cover a hole in the door. Girls have had sex with me, like a bunch, that have walked through that very same door. That's like commendable on their part. To be like, he's got a crazy door. One time this girl came over from off Tinder, and I sleep in my basement. And Here Studios is in the basement. She came downstairs, and there's like cobwebs, and I was like, she's fucking really trusting. She doesn't know me, she doesn't know anyone that knows me. And I killed her. I killed her. I killed her, Gilbert. I killed you, Gilbert. Gilbert, 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 Gilbert. I killed him. Gil. Gil, 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 Gil. I didn't. I didn't kill her, okay? That's my favorite moment of the podcast. When she came down, I was like, damn, you're very trusting. We had a beer. There was no connection, but I was like, alright, I'm going in for the kiss. And she's like, no, you're not. And I was like, I think I'm gonna just go do something else besides this. And then she left because Leilani, well, I don't know what her name was. It was something like that. She was Hawaiian. And she was like 15 pounds heavier than all the pictures in her profile. But I didn't care, she was still fine. But I was like, girl, update that shit. Update those pics. Update those pics. Update those pics. Girl, update those. Update those. Update those pics. Update. 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 Update those pics. And then it's awkward. I'm just sort of sitting there after I tried to kiss her, and she made it like super clear she wasn't into it. I left, and then she left. And she was like shocked that I wanted her to kind of leave. I mean, I wasn't rude about it, but like, I was like, "What are you What are you thinking? This is Tinder's not for friends, dude." And I got off Tinder. I only got one kiss from Tinder. One kiss from Tinder and a butt touch, 'cause I like to touch butts when I kiss. I was touching her, but it's like bliss. I love butts. I love butts. I love butts. I love butts. I love buzz, I love buzz. Who knows why? It's just a part of who I am. I like to be your big old roasted ham. I like butts, B-U-T-T-S. But I would like only one butt. Well, hers and mine would make butts, but take the plural off, so it's just B-U-T-T. I want your B-U-T-T. It's such a beauty. Your B-U-T-T is such a it's such a beauty, baby, your beauty, I wanna feel your beauty, beauty, oh baby, you're such a beauty, oh baby, you're such a beauty, oh baby, you're such a beauty, like your beauty. I like this girl's back. I I mean, it's hard to not look at it when she's not facing me. I have a crush. It's so nice, dude. And she kissed me, and it's always like, you're like, what's gonna happen, dude? I don't know. And I don't. I never know. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen. So it's just like, I have a crush today. Right now, I have a crush on this girl. And I'm gonna just be honest about it. And just to always be honest about my feelings. And I just really like talking to her. And that's fucking cool, man. It's just, it's so fun to talk to somebody. It's so nice. And farting's nice too. B-U-T-T-S. Butts fart. They're fun to touch. They're fun to slap. And they're fun to hold on to when you're having sex. And they're fun to look at. And you poop out of them. And pooping's fun. And because it's like you eat and you poop. And then you eat good food. And then you have nice poops. And pooping's not always fun. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not fun. You have diarrhea or you had too much hot sauce or something. But butts are always fun. Butts are always just fun as fuck. And I'm being really silly right now. And I'm very glad to have gone on this date. And I'm gonna just ask her out again. Women, man. I mean, they're so beautiful. And today I was talking about, I took an Uber from Costco, and I was talking to the Uber driver, who was awesome. And he was all, he's a black man, and he was talking about how he's 51, he still has abs, and he's going out with this 24-year-old. She's never seen a brother on a bike before. Or something like that, like, she's never seen a brother who could bike like that before. And I was like, because they met, like, biking. He's like, oh yeah, man, I put the whole suit on and everything. And it was just awesome. And he was just talking about that. He was talking about how a lot of guys don't have... I can't believe how farty I am right now. I just had pizza earlier. And I feel sluggish, and so I'm going to go on a fucking fruit and veggie cleanse for the next like 4 or 5 days, because I feel... and nuts and stuff. I'm smelling it. I'm fucking getting that going, dude. I'm fucking... This actually doesn't smell that bad, and there's a lot of weed smell, so... Alright, I'll stop talking about my fart. I'll stop talking about my farts when I want to. And that's right now. And I forgot what I was talking about. The Uber driver, dude. He was talking about, like, just talking about guys on game as I fart. But he was talking about that, and it was funny. And I just loved it. Oh, I was like, there's something else I want to say. He's like, yeah, man, women don't make sense to men. He's like, I've just stopped trying to understand them. He's like, girls come up here with the ring, with these big shiny diamond rings, being all touchy-feely on me. I'm like, yeah, if you want to go to the dark side, I'll take you there. Here's my number. It was awesome, dude. It was just great. It was just great. I mean, we were just playing around, having fun, talking, chatting about girls. Girl talk, dude. Alright, third fart coming up. This is going to end the show, so let's hope it's a good one. It was pretty good. It wasn't a bad fart. Hey there, everybody in the World Wide Web. Thanks for listening to my podcast. Music, movie, comedy, and eating ass and comic books. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my podcast. Thanks for listening, yeah. Thanks for listening.